Hey everybody, welcome to stream. Hope you're all doing well. I'm glad to be back, and hopefully you guys are all doing just as good as I am. I would say Happy New Year, and I'd say yeah it is, but I've not had a very great start to the new year myself. But whatever, we'll talk about that and get into a bunch of other subjects a little later. Anyway, welcome to stream, everybody. Let me just make sure we're good and live on YouTube because I did not actually double check that yet already. Give me a second. I know sometimes YouTube's acts up on me. Okay, 1 second. Hold on. I my stream. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Give me a second or two. I forgot to get my stream page open up as my main page. Thought I had this already resolved. I'll get that opened right away now. Okay, I think we're actually good now. If there's any chat messages I missed out on, feel free to repost them and I can try to read them now, because now I can see everything. Sorry about that. That was just something that I'm normally a little bit better about. I'm not going to say that I should be cut too much slack, but I will say before I started I had a bit of a headache and it was really bad. I felt the need to go to sleep and take a nap for a little bit, so it's not going to help any because I woke up feeling like my head was... How do I describe this? Like my head was fucking throbbing really bad and I had to take some medication for it. It's kind of rough right now and it feels like crap. Hey Wayne, welcome to stream. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. So today's stream is fairly simple. We're doing up until 2300 because I hadn't stopped directly at 2000, and plus I want to go a little bit further on my results, so I'm gonna get quite a few Regice done. Try to get quite a lot for today, and just in general I want to do quite a bit of streaming and not too much. I'd like to get this shiny hunt over with, but I want to get somewhere with this, hopefully. I'm a little bit sick of how this thing's been going. Unfortunately, I have a feeling this may end up taking a lot longer than I want it to, but whatever. How are you feeling anyway, Wayne? I'm curious. You feeling better now? I know you said you were feeling sick. I've been feeling alright, I guess. Yesterday I needed a break really badly. I just needed to take some time to myself after streaming as long as I did on 31st. I don't think I was ready to come back after I had been streaming for 10 or 11 hours and then just do a casual 2 hours like it was nothing. Let's see. What was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna mention something else that I almost forgot about. So we're talking about like being sick and stuff, and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I'm curious, like, what are some of the worst medications you guys have had? Like stuff that just doesn't work, or also stuff that's tastes bad too, or whatever. I mean, that could be any medicine really. I've had a lot of medicine out there that's not very good. In fact, I think most of it is. You know what's really awful? When you take like a pill and you don't end up swallowing it right away, not intentionally. It's like you can't swallow it or whatever. At least when I don't know about now, like when I was younger, well, actually, no, now I'm fine. I'm not saying like that, but yeah, when I was younger, I'd always have trouble like swallowing pills for like at least a while before I got like used to it. And I remember a few points where I had like ended up getting it stuck in my throat and I'd feel the nasty aftertaste where you'd like feel if the pill's been like sitting on your tongue too long and tasted absolutely terrible. It tasted so god awful. I was not a fan of feeling that. Obviously, didn't want to. It happened more times than I'd like, though. Doing okay. That's good if you're feeling better, or at least somewhat better anyway. I mean, sucks to be sick on New Year's, especially. Although, actually, my throat's feeling like a little bit better. It's not like it's sore, but it's not feeling like it's a whole lot better from last stream, I was feeling some already annoying throat troubles before, but it's not feeling like it's completely fixed up yet. I don't know why it's like that. Whatever, though. I'm trying to think, I was talking about medicine. There's a lot of medicine I've taken. Actually, when it comes to allergy medicine, they're talking about it. I found a lot of like allergy medicine that I've taken typically doesn't work. It depends, but I think I get the most usage out of like Benadryl, maybe. I think I've tried a few other things and I hadn't really got any good results. I remember I got like a nasal spray from my doctor at some point. That's like the one thing that seems to consistently work, and the Benadryl seems to work on my allergies. Fun fact, if you want to call it that, not really a big deal, but for a while I've been taking like Benadryl. I've been taking it for years and whatnot. Outside of just for the allergy effects, I mean, I took it mostly for that, but like, I know the side effects are mentioned like drowsiness, and I used it to help myself go to bed, and it worked out quite a while for some time, but like a year or two ago, and I was having like those problems of my sleeping and insomnia, found out that like over time Benadryl just like is completely worthless and doesn't actually end up helping you when you're trying to go to sleep. It just like starts to lose effectiveness over time. I was surprised. Like, it seems like it had been working and then it just stopped, and then it was just like the placebo effect, making you think you'd actually been falling asleep because of Benadryl the whole time, and then, oh, shocker, you're actually not falling asleep because of the medicine. The medicine's only working on the allergies. That was something that was surprising to me. I can say, I don't know about you guys, I've had a lot of experience with, like, sleep medication as well, and I haven't had a lot of them that have worked out well. I don't think I've properly tried melatonin, though. I don't think I've ever tried it and, like, picked it up at the store to see if it actually works. I made things kind of awkward. Unfortunately, I can't sleep. It's not very pleasant. I end up rolling around there, not able to do anything, and it's like, oh, it feels like torture. Some people can, like, I guess, like, sit there and just ignore it and get to sleep. I'm not that kind of person, though. If I can't sleep, it'll bother me really, really badly. I can't handle just not being able to sleep. Personally, when it comes to sleep, I don't know if anybody can relate here. If I don't fall asleep within, like, I think it's 30 minutes to an hour, that's usually by the time I give up. I'm used to, like, being able to fall asleep shortly after I lie down, and then be able to get back up and actually do stuff after that. I've had a bit of a not-so-great sleep schedule lately, so I've been having some problems in my body. It's not been letting me go to sleep for a full 8 hours. It's been a bit rough. I'm thinking of getting some more sleeping pills, and I guess that's probably a good idea with how things are going for me right now. I wish I could say the year's been off to a better start, but yeah, not really anything that I can say I've been really loving about the new year right away. Still, this year's off to a significantly better start than 2020 was, and God, do I hope this fucking virus just completely fucks off this year. Like, seriously, we need to get rid of the coronavirus, and it's kind of bad how out of control the situation is. I won't lie, I feel like hopefully we can get rid of this year. I think everybody wants that, though. That's something everybody should be able to unite on. Let's see. Next I can talk a little bit more on the thing I was talking about earlier about medicine. I'm trying to think what some really bad ones I've had when I was younger. I don't know if it's intentionally done this way, but I always thought medicine was like intentionally made really bitter so that kids wouldn't end up like actually liking the taste and then getting addicted to it, because obviously you're not supposed to take like a whole bunch of medicine. It's supposed to be like the initial dosage, and then after that you don't take any more until you need it. It's like, that seems like something that would make sense. You'd make it bitter so that it's you give them like the one taste of it, and then only when they need it. And if you gave them something that tasted like even remotely okay, they'd probably want to get more of it. I don't know, as a kid at least, I definitely is the type of kid who'd probably eat like too many sweet things. I could see how that could be an issue. I think a lot of kids acted on impulse like that too. I'm going to go away from this topic for a little bit, and then we can talk about it more later if you guys want, but I'm going to change to something else that I want to talk about. Okay, here's something I hear about, like, online, not very often otherwise, but, like, you guys hear about, like, these stories where there's, like, kids that'll, like, end up, like, choking on, like, it's either, like, toys or, like, certain candy things. And I've only heard about it in the U.S., and I mean, we're from the U.S., at least most of us are on the stream. There's some others that aren't, but like I find it weird how many stories I hear about our country where it's like kids that stick like one of those like Kinder Egg things or whatever in their mouth, and they haven't opened it, and they end up like choking on it. It's like the thing says that it's supposed to have like something inside of it, and yet you see so many cases of like parents buying it for their kids anyway, and they don't bother to read the text on it and like make sure it's safe first where they give it to their kid. And I'm assuming these kids are like probably like 3 or 4, because even though I don't know for certain, I assume most 6-year-olds or above would probably at least think to like read the thing and like look at it a little bit, and maybe they wouldn't be at that high of a risk of choking to death on something. Because I mean, and most 3-year-olds will literally just shove anything in their mouth and then mess with it, and it's like, yeah, I gotta be careful about that. I swear every time I hear about this kind of story online, it's always like, yeah, it's other people talking about how it happens in America and nowhere else. It's really weird to see it online in the stories too. I don't know. Hi there, welcome to the stream. I'm a little bit tired right now, I can feel it. Not super tired, but I don't feel like my stamina's all here today. I always found it a little bit weird how, like, well, I guess it's not a big deal, but like how we have like an entire like market of like toys that are like labeled with like something on them where it's like, do not leave in the hands of a child like under a certain age. It's weird to me how there's like so many issues with this stuff. It's not a really big deal, but I always thought it would be like more normal to like leave toys that could be a choking hazard out of the way of a kid like completely, rather than to sell stuff that's like dangerous for a kid. I don't really get that too much. I don't know, not really a big deal. Hear about that stuff all the time. I mean, there's definitely certain baby toys they could just sell that wouldn't even have that risk in the first place. Not like a baby's going to have a problem with the pacifier. Then again, I don't know. I'm not a parent either. I can't really relate to that too much. Hang on a second, I'm thinking right now. I have a lot that I feel like I can talk about today, thankfully, because I spent some time like sitting down brainstorming quite a few things that I wanted to talk about, and got a good list of stuff that I was interested in bringing up on stream, so we should have a fairly good time talking about some stuff, hopefully. Anyway, actually, hold on a second. Code. There's no code for this. This is one of the little... how do I just say this again? I meant to say, this is one of those little temples you just walk up to and they literally tell you how to get in. It's just in the form of a riddle. I mean, it's not very hard to solve the riddle, so it's like, if you haven't read it, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I can tell you the Pokemon, but it's not very hard to actually figure out the riddle just looking at it. Paying for shinies. Well, you're not going to get any from me here, or probably anybody else in the chat, because I'm assuming that nobody here intends to sell any, and plus I hunt my shinies because I actually like getting them. I don't want to get rid of them, so yeah. I don't really understand that, though. I'm going to be honest. Is that I don't think a shiny that you buy or get off of like an eBay seller or something is going to be, or even I shouldn't say, like I say, that those aren't considered legitimate shinies unless you're meaning by trading, and even then, I don't think trade shinies are illegitimate, but I will say that I find that a trade shiny is less value than a normal shiny that you found on your own would be. I hate to be that kind of guy, but I don't think that kind of viewpoint is exactly uncommon either. It feels much more special when you go through the process of going on a shiny hunt and getting the shiny for yourself and getting to have it with your own two hands. On top of that, getting like the OT in your name. It feels it's more, I guess personal would be the right word when you claim your own shinies, whereas having one handed to you doesn't feel the same. It's part of why I don't like mystery gift shinies that much. Yeah, no, I don't know anybody who wants to, and I'm not going to. I don't intend to do that either. Also, I'm not even going to say anything because I don't really care, but I mean, I think Nintendo's terms of service actually outline against that kind of stuff, so I don't know if there's any chance of worry on YouTube, but if you're saying stuff like that and you end up on the wrong channel, then and somebody from Nintendo spots it, then yeah, I would be a little bit worried. I mean, I don't think there's much chance they're going to be prowling around on small YouTube channels, though, but yeah, I know they'll ban people for that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I never really completely understood that rule, to be honest. I don't really care too much, but I've seen it happen before. In fact, I remember I was on a Discord server for Animal Crossing, had a very lame experience because I remember I'd joined one not to buy anything, but I had been trying to get my hands on turnips, or no, I think it's, yeah, trying to buy and sell some, and I remember I joined a server where I didn't even realize it was like a server where there was stuff being sold on the server, like they were selling stuff with like actual money, and I remembered I had also been on like the official Animal Crossing server. I had read the rules, but not like glanced over everything because they had a pretty long rule list. Excuse me, rule list. Got tongue tied, and they banned me over fucking being on the server, which made me really, really annoyed because didn't really do anything that was a big deal, and I didn't know the server was actually a fucking server where it was like it got another server was selling stuff on it, and I didn't realize that was against the rules. It's like it felt like a really stupid reason to permanently ban somebody without warning. That's the kind of a thing that's like really corrupt, but whatever. It's like I feel like at the very least it should be a warning for that kind of thing instead of something else, not fucking ban you without saying anything. Hey, welcome back, Wayne. I don't know, it seems like the thing wasn't showing your thing on here with the viewers, unless it's just bugged out a little bit. I don't know, whatever. Chance on people selling Fortnite accounts? Oh, that's a thing that I personally, I don't really care about it too much. I don't think it's a good thing, and I wouldn't really like actually buy something like that ever, or buy a pre-made account. That's probably not a very good idea. And also on top of that, there's like a lot of like stories of like stolen accounts out there where people will actually like I've seen like a lot of stories like people will like hack stuff like on, say, Nintendo eShop or like, shit, I don't know if I counted this one earlier or not. I'll just do another encounter and not really care if I missed one. But yeah, I've heard a lot of stories about like people like hacking accounts on like the eShop or Xbox store or even like PlayStation store and stealing like the details from those, then using it to buy a bunch of V-Bucks and making a Fortnite account and like making a Fortnite account, buying a bunch of V-Bucks or whatever, and then they end up using that on Fortnite and they sell it to people. It's kind of really, really scummy. Really, really lame too. Like, not only is that a problem, like, then you see people who get banned based on this when they won't even know, although I don't think to be going around buying these accounts not expecting anything in the first place, though, so I don't know. I can't honestly tell. I don't know why you would want to buy a pre-made Fortnite account. It's not really worth it, in my opinion. I'd rather just play the game for free. I don't think the cosmetics are that worthwhile. Been lurking? Alright, that's good. Cool. You haven't missed out on anything important if you were gone. It's been a little bit of discussion of a few things, but nothing really important. To be honest, I don't feel like I really care about microtransactions in games in general, to be honest. I feel like they're very, very predatory. I'm not going to say I've never used microtransactions in games, because that would be a lie, but also, like, I don't ever really try to. There's maybe a few circumstances, like I remember, I've already told you guys about my TF2 story, where I played it quite a bit and wasted a ton of money on it, and now I don't think I ever want to buy anything in that game again, if not really make any more macrotransactions than necessary. That's something that I have not forgotten, and I don't intend to. And then, let's see. Really, I think when it comes to microtransactions, I'll buy stuff in some really rare scenarios, but I feel like it's not a big deal, but I don't really like to. It's pretty much if I feel it's a necessity or whatever. Like, I've actually played a little bit of Pokemon Go and used microtransactions like one time for getting like some Pokeballs and shit. I didn't actually care about spending much on it, so I didn't pay more than once, and I don't really like the idea of using it that much. I can see where Pokemon Go makes a lot of its money too, considering the fact that taking the whole approach of like, oh yeah, you can go down to a Pokestop, or you can just go into the shop and you can pay a few dollars in real life and you'll get all these Pokeballs instead, and it's like, I don't really like that kind of system. I don't know about you guys, since I'm talking about like microtransactions, I personally find that mobile games are very, very bad about having microtransactions. And they're usually really, really predatory, and they'll end up having, like, really nasty amounts of microtransactions, or they'll have, like, a bunch of things in the game to try and incentivize you to spend money on, like, buy stuff and use the microtransactions. That's part of why I don't play why I don't play mobile games very much anymore. Oh my god. Excuse me. I can't tell if it's over or not, otherwise I would mute and okay, I think it's stopped, thank god. I was gonna say fucking constant barrage of sneezing and coughing there. Ugh, feels nasty, really nasty. Ugh, where was I? Shit. Oh yeah, talking about mobile games. Like I said, it's part of the reason I don't play them anymore. Not the only reason. I just haven't had the urge to play them, and I don't really care about mobile games too much, to be honest. It's not like they're all bad. There's some fun ones, but I've found very few that aren't like this gotcha trash. Actually, when you look at, like, say, Apple Store or Google Play Store, it's hard to find anything in terms of why am I saying well, this is like so intertwined when it comes up to the topic of mobile games. Yeah, it's hard to find any mobile games that are actually good and aren't infested with this crap, honestly. I think most of the games I've seen on mobile like storefronts nowadays are gotcha games that aren't very good, or they have like too much of this kind of crap. I've talked about it. There's a lot of games where there's some cool ones. There's also a lot that are not so great, and that they totally rely on that whole players being dumb and like wasting away too much money on microtransactions, that kind of thing, and they make a lot of money. I think most of the games I've heard about on mobile make all their money off of microtransactions. It's pretty sad, actually, when you look at mobile games as a whole and you see people who will like be opposed to paying $5 to $10 on a game. I'm not saying that I care to pay very much myself on mobile. In fact, I will sometimes, but not very often. But like, it's sad when people would rather pay for microtransactions, and then they end up like wasting countless dollars on stupid purchases over time for like unnecessary shit. And yet they'll get angry when a mobile game wants them to pay like $5 for like a one-time fee. I shouldn't say no microtransactions whatsoever. It's like, yeah, I don't get that kind of reasoning the mobile market has. It's really, really weird in my opinion, and honestly something I couldn't understand. Same kind of people who probably never play console games, and if they do, it's like, I don't know, I don't feel like $10 is asking you that much. Most of the stuff that's paid doesn't seem like it's too bad either. I don't know. Let's see. I've talked about mobile games every now and then, not too much. Any good mobile games you guys have played on the chat room since we talked about them, or nothing actually? Or do you guys played no good ones? Also, another topic that'd be good is like topic of, what was it? If I was going to say, oh yeah, good mobile apps you guys have used. I'm curious to hear like favorite apps you've checked out before. I've never used like too many. I haven't had a chance to use like a whole lot of stuff on my phone, to be honest, though, since my phone's been slowly dying. I've tried like a lot of things on mobile though, from using Tinder, which went absolutely nowhere, and I'm not too upset about that, but I mean, feels literally lame that I haven't been able to get into a relationship in a long time. It's not something I care about right now, though, to bring up. We can talk about some other stuff in my mind, like maybe that a little bit later. To like, I've used... There's no like Uber Eats kind of thing where we are, just for the record, for anyone asks. I believe we have DoorDash in our area, so we can use that. I know some places that have been around us have started opening up to using like delivery lately, so I guess there's that. Yeah, I don't really use too many of those kind of apps. I've downloaded a few for restaurants for just convenience sake. Let's see, what else have I downloaded? I have the YouTube app. I do mobile games. I can't remember if there's anything else actually that's really big. I mean, I got mostly probably like basic stuff, and I think that's really it for the most part. Maybe a few other apps I've decided to download on my mobile phone over time. I'm still really looking forward to getting my new phone. I wish I could have picked it up already. I genuinely really want to go get that new phone, and I tried to go pick it up yesterday, and they told me I have to wait until the person that it had like the order details was in, like, wait until Monday until they're back in the store. I don't really get why they can't have like a transaction record and like have somebody who's just be there and look up all the details on and what happened, and then sell me the phone while I'm there instead of waiting. I'd rather get the phone as soon as I can rather than waiting until Monday, but looks like I'm not being given a choice, so I guess I'll wait it out and hopefully I'll get to get it soon. It'd be nice to use my phone again. Phones are just, like, convenient. I don't know if I could live through my everyday life now without a phone, because it's useful for emergency situations, too. I mean, if you get in a car crash, obviously having a phone's really handy, or if you get stranded, there's a lot of purposes having a cell phone, or I saw it's very, very useful and can come in handy and something you'd actually need, so, yeah. I couldn't imagine living without one. I've seen a lot of, like, people from older generations try to discount them. No, phones are absolutely useful. I'm curious, actually, how many people here use their phone on a daily basis? I know I did to, like, an extent in the past where mine started having problems. I obviously can't now with my battery problems. I'll use it every now and then, but I'm not as quick to look at stuff on it or check up on stuff because it's harder to keep it on at this point when it's going down, when it's like 70 or 80% battery life. I can't rely on my phone for anything, so I honestly got to the point where sometimes I get lazy and just let it die and don't even, like, charge it for quite some time. Usually it's not a big deal because I don't have any important calls coming in or anything anyway, but it can be annoying at some point, especially when I have stuff I really need to do on my phone and it won't fucking work with me. I don't know. I don't know how my phone got stuck with such a ridiculously bad battery life. Is everything all good in the chat? Just gotta double check. I would imagine so, but there's not really a lot of chat activity right now. Also, god damn it. My fingers are still fucking causing me problems. I would have dealt with what I had said I was earlier on one of my previous streams on this, but I couldn't find. I went to Walmart and I couldn't get the supplies I need because apparently they don't have the stuff, and apparently, like, I have to go to, like, some medical supply store and I don't know where it's actually at. So I've been stuck with dealing with this finger problem until I find out where the hell I need to go to. I haven't tried to look it up because it's difficult with the fucking low phone battery, and I don't know, I'm not in a rush to if I can't even look the data up. Hopefully I can get something for my finger soon. It's driving me insane how bad it is. Actually, update on the whole problem with my hand and my fingers thing. I have surprisingly found that my fingers have been working a little bit better with me lately over the past few days. I have been actually, like, able to use them a lot better and been having a lot less cramping problems with them where they've, like, locked up. It's not been significantly better because I'm pretty sure I can still feel them go numb at least, like, once a day, if not more potentially. I think it's, like, less noticeable though. I only noticed, like, once before I started streaming today, at least, where I was sitting down, like, lying down in my bed and trying to lie down for a little bit, and I don't know if this potentially might have, like, led to my hand problem, but, like, I will admit I sleep, like, on my stomach. I end up, like, I have a particular way of lying down where I had my hands under my pillows, because I don't know why I find that to be a very, very comfortable position to lie down in, like a good way to try and sleep, so I sleep like that. And I've slept on my hands a lot, or, like, at least near my hands, if not on them at some points, and I wonder if me lying down my hands like this may have actually ended up, like, messing my hands up some and causing this problem, because I don't know what else it could be other than maybe the fact that I play games quite a bit, and I don't know if playing games would be enough to cause these kind of hand problems, so I don't think that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong. It feels like it'd be a stretch to assume that using a controller would cause serious problems with my hand if I'm only playing, like, so much every day. And before anybody says anything, I don't do long sessions very often. Those kind of 10 or 11 hour sessions I did for that one stream those are unfrequent, or infrequent, I mean to say. Those are something I don't do very often. Fuck. Give me a second or two. I need a moment before I continue talking. I have some stuff that's on my mind that I nearly forgot about. I want to bring up in a second, actually. Something I saw on another stream that it jogged my memory, and something I wanted to talk about. Also, before I continue, I need a moment because I was going to get something for Discord. I normally get like a link to drop over on Discord for anybody who wants to watch and put it up there and link it. I need to take care of that really quickly. Make sure that's resolved. I didn't do that last time because I guess, I don't know, I guess I never really found a good time for it, so I never bothered to. Oh my god. This has been a slow hunt, huh? Been doing this a lot, and seems like today it's also not going to have any results and we're not going to get anywhere. Just lovely how we wasted all this time on the shiny hunt, even went into the new year not getting anything, and it seems like it's still not going to end this year, or not this year, let's say, end right away, like this month without a fight. I was hoping I could get this over with. I don't think it's going to be very easy. Hopefully we can get it sometime soon, though, because I am so ready to be done with Regice. I want this shiny hunt to end, like, ASAP. I'm ready to have this fucking done and over with. Okay, let me just copy this and paste it into Discord, and then there we go. It's all good now. Somebody brought up a good talking point that I'm going to bring up now really quickly, though. So, is it just me? Like, I was watching this, and I agree with what this person said. Like, does this seem like, or does it seem like the American, like, education system is meant to, like, really prey on people? I'm not sure about other education systems, but like I was listening to somebody talk about it. It's somebody who's not even from America, but like they were hearing some from like American chat members about how like there were problems with it. This isn't even like regarding the like college stuff yet, which is bad because the fact it seems like college here is like meant to fucking prey on people with student loans and keep them in debt for God knows how long, and not really let you out of debt. You just be stuck to loan for majority of your life and may never end up paying it off. You end up in that scenario. Thankfully, I haven't myself, but like that's one problem. We can get back to that in a second. But also, they was talking about like how some people have been apparently like in debt from like not paying their school lunches or whatever. They'd been in debt from like not paying like $50 worth of school lunches or something along those lines, and they hadn't. It seems like they said they hadn't been allowed to, like somebody hadn't been allowed to graduate because of it. Like, it's really weird and how almost a little embarrassing how our education system like relies on and like preying on people through greed like this. I have never really understood that. It's also, it makes it really hard to get a decent job. I mean, you can get one if you try still, and I mean, it's not completely terrible, but yeah, it's hard to get a job nowadays. I feel like you get taken more seriously if you have a degree. Obviously, it's not a guarantee, though. Like, that's one thing. I think there's probably some other things I'm forgetting about. And like I said, college seems to be fucking set up where to pay for the $10,000 every year, which is a lot of money, and especially for anybody who doesn't have a job. And naturally, just coming out of high school, not everybody's going to have a job. In fact, most kids probably wouldn't. They'd probably be just getting a job, and to ask somebody to get like $40,000 to pay off like the whole college thing before they're done, yeah, that's a lot. I mean, obviously, a lot of people get loans in the first place, but like, it's ridiculous how bad our school system is, where it basically requires people to go in debt to pay for it. And I think most people who've been to college probably have a debt. I'm not sure everybody does, but I couldn't even imagine how many people do. It's not even counting like all these specialty schools, like trade schools of any sorts that have like something similar where costs even more to get to that school, and probably people have to get more money they would normally for college to afford that. That must be miserable. Ugh. I thankfully never really got anything I never really made any purchases where that required me to take out a loan, so I haven't been in any debt. I mean, I've had one point where I thought about maybe taking a loan out for something I really needed it for, but I haven't done that. I wouldn't want to be on that end of the spectrum, though. I hear that being stuck with a loan is absolute hell, and it's honestly, like, not something that you should let happen to you, I guess. I'm not sure, and yeah, I'm not sure how to say it. Like, you get saddled with the loan, then you get stuck with it for your whole life, and trying to pay the loan off is fucking awful. Ugh, it is a scary, scary thought, to say the least. I don't know how anybody could put up with that. And I think you're at to pay off like a certain bit of it every year. I'm just glad that I've got a decent place to live and don't have to worry too much about my expenses. I've got a decent enough spot, and I can live off my SSI money and not have to worry too much. I've tried getting a job. It's been rough, though. Honestly, it's a problem with America in general, though, I think, or maybe just maybe in other places, but like, I feel like the job market has gotten really bad. I've talked about it. People have like unrealistic expectations of people that come in and do interviews, and they expect them to have the perfect like resume or perfect application, and on top of that, if you don't meet all their qualifiers for an interview, you don't get hired. It's like they expect you to be a perfect employee, and anything less than that usually won't get hired. They won't give you any feedback on what you screwed up, and if you mess up slightly, yeah, you're done. You don't get the job. I never liked that about the current job market. And I mean, I butt into a ton of different job interviews out there. It is definitely too picky and way too hard to get a job, at least a good one. There's some jobs I guess you can get out there that are easy, and they won't really have harsh requirements to get the job itself, but they're also the kind of jobs that I feel like are bottom of the line jobs that not everybody would want to get, like a restaurant job, being a waiter for one, because if you're like a waiter or waitress, you have to rely on tips. That's not something I would want to think about. Also, it seems like it takes a decent amount of coordination to get the food over carefully, pour all the drinks, do all that kind of stuff. It might not seem like it, but that'd be something to be a little bit stressful, and you don't even get paid like a full like minimum wage salary. You get the fucking tips to make up the whole of what you're supposed to get. I think America's like the only, I think I've heard about like this online, that America's one of the only countries, which I live here, but I didn't know about other countries not encouraging tipping, and like we're the only ones where tipping is considered the norm and it's looked down upon to not tip. Kind of bad how can't just deal with this by having like a system in place where waiters or waitresses are paid like the proper amount. Instead, we have to fucking pay them to make up their like paycheck. I'm not saying that it's necessarily bad overall to have tips, but I mean, I'd say it makes more sense how the rest of the world doesn't tip, and that we're viewed as the weirdos. I hear about like every other place I've looked at, nobody tips, and it's always odd. Also, if people tip in like other countries, I've heard people like from America going to other places, like wherever, Britain, the UK, whatever, like they'll like, around the UK, I meant to say, well, Britain and the UK are both like I think the same in that regard. Maybe I might be misremembering, but yeah. Or like Australia, wherever, you can go to Japan, Germany, it doesn't matter. I hear any other place, like they're really, really surprised about it, and they even get upset about it, like they think it's patronizing if you tip there, whereas it's not the case in America. Like apparently tips are looked down upon in those kind of places, and I guess I'm not that surprised. It's weird how America is so tip-centric that it's like practically part of our culture and just ingrained into us to tip. No other place seems to have this kind of scenario. I don't know, not a big deal, but it is a weird thing to talk about. Trying to think. There might be, I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to mention or not on that regard. What even got us started talking about, like, tipping, I guess, the job market thing? And like I said, yeah, I've tried countless jobs and, like, trying to apply to different jobs and not really been able to find any place that would take me for a decent job that I want to get. And I'm not picky, but there's a lot of places that won't give anybody a chance, and I've applied to and had no luck. So yeah, I can relate back that I've had some very, very awful experiences trying. I've had, like, let's see, 1, 2, maybe 3 jobs or whatever. One of them, 2 of them were, like, working for, like, Walmart or whatever, doing, like, pushing around carts or turning them to where they're supposed to be, and those jobs are too much intense physical labor for me, and I can't handle that. I want to work as a cashier or something that I can actually handle. I'm not good at that kind of thing, and I would rather be indoors. I find that a lot of places are picky about even that, and I can't get a job doing that kind of stuff, so yeah, it's a little bit rough. Not a great experience, not a terrible experience. I'd like it if I could get an actual job I could handle if I wasn't streaming, but I'm also fine where I'm at. Maybe one day I'll look into getting another job again. I don't know if I might need one or not. It was alright when I had a job, but it was a lot of stress, and it was causing me a lot of emotional stress. On top of that, I didn't enjoy what I was doing for the jobs that I should say. I didn't find it to be fun. Working retail is genuinely awful. Too many people there that are stuck up and think they're the most important person in the whole store and treat the employees like crap. So yeah, it can be a little bit much when you have, like, assholes dealing with, when you're dealing with assholes or and making you feel really, really shitty. I'll just put it that way. Is everything okay in chat? I think I asked before, just being certain. I have not seen a message in the chat in some time, and I'm wondering because there's, like, nothing to go off of. Thought that there was maybe 1 or 2 people around. I might send a test message, I guess, really quick. Well, whatever. Even if there's not, it's not really a big deal. Not anything that's bothering me too much. Okay, give me a second or two and I'll see what I want to bring up. There's been a few things I can talk about otherwise. I'm going to wait to talk about, though. Like, I've been watching more shows, and that's something I talk about frequently, but I want to save that for a little bit later, maybe. Just whatever. I don't mind talking about whatever, but right now I don't want to talk about that in particular. Let's see. Give me a second or two. Also, I'll link the stream when it turns time for 2100 encounters, because I think it's about time I linked this, and I wasn't intending to wait this long, but just to be on the safe side for anybody who actually intended to watch. That way, I can have it set up where people can get in here and check this out if they want to, for anybody who's missing out. Sometimes I wonder if I'm wasting my time with streaming, though. I don't see many people drop by and watch, and don't always get that many people hanging around. I only have a few regulars and people that stay around and hang out and chat in the stream, and I gotta be honest, it bothers me how I don't see, like, any people in here, like, a lot of the time, and it's like, it's just depressing being alone, chatting, and not seeing anybody, basically talking on my own. I still can handle it and still keep trucking on, but I wouldn't be lying to say that I don't enjoy being the only person in the stream room and, like, sitting here talking, thinking of stuff all on my own to talk about. It's a little bit on the lonely side, and does feel like maybe I'm throwing away my time, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying and doing my best regardless. I don't care if nobody watches. I feel like I want to try and do my best and try and attract new people to the stream. I just wish I didn't have to do this so often where I was not talking to anybody, but whatever. I don't know. I wonder maybe if I did switch to Twitch, if I would get a few more people watching, but regardless, I don't intend to switch anytime soon, if ever. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into Twitch streaming at some point. I'm not sure though, because I don't even want to do streaming like a whole lot more. I said I was going to take a break because of depression problems, and I really meant it. I didn't plan to be on here streaming as frequently as I did after I said I was going to stop. Okay, like I said, let me check on something I was going to check on before I continue blathering on. I don't want to be too depressing and talking about my woes and nothing else in life. That's not what my intent was, to make you guys hear that kind of stuff, so let's see what all I want to talk about in just a second. Give me one single moment or two. If we had more people in here, it'd be kind of neat to do, like, Q&A. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I saw something odd on my thing for a second that I need to correct before we continue. Give me a moment or two so I can deal with this, and then I can find what I'm looking for. I wasn't paying attention to what I had opened up or whatever, I guess, because I ended up, like, using my little hotkeys and accidentally, like, dropping, like, a million of my equal button, which is there for, like, the plus or minus on my counter, and if you haven't figured out, equal is plus because it's got the plus button on it, and minus is minus because naturally it works for minus, and they're side by side, so I can reach them really easy to use for, like, adding up the counter, so I'd use this for just the sake of convenience. I don't think I've had any moments if I've had, like, that drop up in the chat by accident, but if there's, like, a point where you see, like, equals or dash I accidentally typed out in the chat, and it's because I probably did that and unintentionally hit the enter button, not paying attention to what I was doing, so probably that, if that's the case. Not had that happen yet, I don't think, though, so I guess we're good on that, nothing to worry about it. Ooh, boy, okay, so this is about how this is going. I was wondering about if I was doing much, and I thought I was fine. My number's not bad, but, like, so I'm getting roughly 70 Regice per hour. That could be a little bit better, I'm not going to lie. Hang on a second. Just getting this back up now. Okay, I got quite a bit here that I can talk about. Give me a second. Here's something that'll be good. Any good glitches you guys know of in games? I've talked about this a little bit before, but I was going to elaborate on this a little bit further and see, like, what all people were interested in talking about in this regard, or, like, some like cheesy things you can do in games, like strats you can do that mess around in games, those kind of things. I thought that would be something that'd be fun to talk about. Dumb, glitchy stuff, basically. Give me a moment or two. I'd lost what I was looking at, though, that I wanted to check on. I've talked about it quite a bit. Glitches are a fun thing to discuss, in my opinion. Glitches are not something that you bump into, like, very often when it comes to playing games. I find that glitches are usually fairly rare and fairly satisfying. I mean, I guess nowadays you can kind of force glitches in some games, but it's very, very interesting because you don't always see them, and you can see some pretty neat stuff that's pretty interesting when you see glitches, and I enjoy talking about, like, anything glitch related, seeing what people have seen in their games, or just stupid, funny glitches to talk about too. Give me 1 second, I'm still looking for stuff. I talk about, like, Smash having some good ones, like the Jigglypuff thing And also, like, I think it goes, you go into Elden Bridge, jump in like a Smash Ball, and like use your final smash, and you could get the whole Jigglypuff, like, really, really big glitch. I think they called it Gigglypuff or whatever. Like, that was a hell of a glitch to see back in the day. And it was compatible with a few different, like, Final Smashes, but it didn't really work for all of them. Like, I know people would say, like, oh yeah, this works on Giga Bowser or Ganondorf as well, and spoiler, it didn't work for getting Ganon to be out permanently, because it's a transformation that's, like, one attack, I think, instead of a proper attack, so no, that didn't work. Also, I think you could do it like Rob to glitch out his transformation, where you could get, right, transformation, you get like that little laser going for a while. I remember messing around with like quite a few different Final Smash effects, and I don't think too many of them had the same thing in common as Jigglypuff, and I think also Rob had the laser you could do that with. That was something I found kind of neat. It was fun to toy around with. Smash games were always kind of like glitchy. We can talk about that in a second though, and talk about some fun stuff in Smash actually. Oh yeah, as I say, like the Jigglypuff glitch was really, really weird and really, really fun, but it was also really, really interesting to toy around with. Like, you could do a lot of stuff with it. I forget if you could do anything with, like, Kirby and, like, make Kirby bigger through swallowing Jigglypuff. I think you might have been able to get Kirby to look bigger, or from, like, getting Jigglypuff in his mouth. I don't remember for sure, because that's been a long time since I've seen this glitch or done anything with it. I don't think anybody's used this glitch in a long time, so remembering the details of this is actually a little bit hard and a little bit fuzzy. I know if you used Yoshi, you could actually fucking get Yoshi to eat Jigglypuff, and then you could, like, poop the egg out with Yoshi, and you'd see, like, a giant egg based on this. It was really funny and weird. I think, like, Jigglypuff would actually, like, slow down or whatever when you got, like, bigger and bigger, and you could, depending on, like, when you did the Final Smash and how fast you did when the bridge was getting filled out, you could, like, see Jigglypuff get it's really, really big, just depending on the timing you pulled it off with. I always thought that was something that was really, really neat. It was really, really fun. There were some fun things to do in Smash games regarding that stuff. I don't know if I can remember any others. I'll talk about the one I mentioned before that I think I didn't talk about the Jigglypuff thing too much before, but I'm going to switch to another glitch that I remember being the black hole glitch. That one was fun to mess around with, trying to set that up. I don't know if I ever set that up in Melee or not. It had like a very, very weird setup process where you had to have like two specific characters. I think it was like Fox and or Falco, and you had to have like several different items going, I think a Peach and some other character that I don't remember, and if you set it off right, you get this fucking black hole that it fucking like absorbs everything and like messes around with stuff in a really, really weird way. It was a really, really interesting glitch. I think you had to do this for a while, and once you set it up, you could like stop and then like interact with it. It was the most bizarre but also interesting glitch I've ever seen. Definitely fun to toy around with though, and a pretty interesting glitch overall. One I would say that I found to be a very, very neat glitch, and very, very odd to see like the way you could explore it and like try to set it up. It was unlike anything I've seen in a Smash game. I thought it was really, really interesting. And did I seriously step on the top one when I was trying to go over here? She had a really, really good glitch to talk about. I think wave dashing was also like a glitch originally in Melee. People talk about it like, oh no, it was entirely intentional. Sakurai totally programmed wave dashing, and it's like, no, Sakurai did not program it in on purpose. People are gullible and buying into Sakurai saying that to like try and get people like believe that he had the community in mind and this glitch happened. And reality is it was definitely an accident and he didn't notice it and patch it like I don't know. I don't really care about wave dashing. I don't really play Melee very much, and I wouldn't play it competitively purely because of the fact that it's something where it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of weird tech that's came up over Melee that's hard to replicate because it relies on glitches. I don't think I could ever bother going back to Melee for that reason. Still good, but I mean, yeah. Don't think I would ever want to. I'm trying to think if there's any other decent glitches I've heard of, and I'm looking this up right now, and I'll let you guys know if anything. Oh, excuse me. Oh God, my nose. I meant to say, I was gonna say, look up glitches, see if there's any other good ones that I either forgot about or don't know of, like good Smash glitches. Okay, let me see what this says. Glitch. Oh wait, I did forget one actually that was really good. I don't think there was like too much that was similar to this, but I might be mistaken. I completely forgot it. In Melee, actually, this is something I barely remembered until now. You can actually like use like the setup of the controllers if you're doing this right. You have to have 2 controllers, I think, and you have to have one in the player 1 slot, one the player 4 slot. And I forget how you do this. I do remember that you need to have one of the slots in random, but if you do this right, this glitch, you can pull off a glitch where you can get Master Hand and you can like play as him for a match. Like, it's very, very interesting. I do not remember exactly how you'd pull it off. I will say it's very, very unique and very, very odd though. Like, it has like a whole bunch of control things on it. Like, it has like setups where you use like the A button and the B button for like smash attacks or whatever. Like, it has like a bunch of specials or whatever, like any other character would, but it's a little harder to understand and a little harder to use than another character would be. It is absolutely fascinating though, and it's worth checking out and like trying to do it on your own. It's very, very hard to do. I don't know if you could do it on an emulator, but I mean, I'm gonna say, like, in general, if you tried to pull it off on an emulator, you'd probably be better off just going for, like, using a Game Shark or Action Replay or whatever, and then activating it via cheat codes rather than using it on Dolphin and trying to make it work. I've done it on an official GameCube before. It is a pain in the ass. I think I've tried it, and because the timing is so strict and you have to do it just right, I think it's easier if you have 2 people, but I was using 2 controllers, and like, you have to do it just right, and if you do it just right, you'll get the Master Hand glitch to work. It's basically really strict timing. I think you could look it up on YouTube, and you could find Master Hand glitch if you searched it. It's a very, very interesting glitch, though. Definitely worth checking out if you have Melee and you want to see it for yourself. If not, you can look it up and you can find it pretty easy. Give me a second. I'm gonna check and see what's here. Okay, I was looking something up. It was a Smash wiki, but I wasn't trying to look up the fucking term of glitch, which is what I ended up finding. It's a little weird how they ended up directly linking me to fucking a definition of the word glitch. I didn't need that. Apparently the one for Jigglypuff to get bigger is called the Regenerating Terrain Glitch. That's an interesting name. I wonder if there's any more info on it. I'm gonna look in here and let's see what kind of cool stuff is in here in terms of glitches. Any really, really interesting ones. Let's see what this thing says about this Jigglypuff thing, actually. Yeah, let's see what this is. Regenerating Terrain Glitch. Okay, so it says it causes certain final smashes to stay in their activated state. See, hold on a second. Apparently it's more than one stage if you use the right one, too, so you can do it on more than just Bridge of Elden. I guess Bridge of Elden was the one that was first discovered. According to this, the pirate ship is... There's even, like, descriptions on how to do these. Let's see. There says, Bridge of Elden, obviously, Spear Pillar, Green Hill Zone pirate ship. Interesting. Let's see, and it even describes... I'm already about this one, but I think I described it too. You go in the middle section of the bridge and jump into Final Smash. You can pull it off. Spear Pillar, it says stone segments are the broken Pokemon. I don't know what that's referring to. I would have to look into what that is. Must not be too hard to find, but I'm curious what it's referring to. Green Hill Zone, I see that on here, and I mentioned that already, but I mean, I can tell what that is. You, like, wait for the stage to crumble. I'm assuming if you jump in and do your final smash, you can actually pull off, like, something. See, glitch there. Let's see. King of Red Line's appearance in Pirate Ship. Off screen. And the ship comes in contact with the rock. Okay, so that rock, that it's just Rock Island, or it's like crashes into it. I think that's what it's talking about. Let's see. There's even like, oh, there's like a few things where it shows like some of these. Yeah, it shows some of these things that can happen, like, or tells you what they are. I'm not sure if it shows you all of the things that can happen. Puff Up glitch. That's the name people have termed for the Jigglypuff glitch, or is that a different thing? In the middle of using the Puff Up. Increase size where moment is interrupted. Egg lay, increase its size even further. And yeah, I'm about that already. It's a big one. Super Jigglypuff. Is that not the same thing? Can only make Jigglypuff's size a small amount. Wait, let's see. You got. There's like need to make a very large. You have a bunny hood. Let it wear off, and then let it get damage output boosted drastically. That's interesting. So wait, it can get a. Let me reread this one more time before I do this. Let it wear. We got bunny hood. Let it wear off. It. Wait, let me see this. The drastically. In 10 times when. In. Wait. So you're doing 10. Or the 10 times the normal damage. Big Jubos and bigger than bunny hood. Is that like a glitch correlating the size? Because I don't understand that. Like it's. I mean, it's not actually getting like a mushroom effect. I don't know how that would work, but it seems like it's actually growing in attack power. That's interesting, because I didn't know about this. Interesting. Listen to. Hold on a second. I'm going to read what this says. I'm going to keep looking at this, because I think this is all interesting shit. Reading on video game glitches has always been something I find really, really cool. Also, like reading on, or not reading, forming glitches in games, something I find to be fun and interesting and a worthy, like, conversation topic. Let's see. Jump, squat, fall speed, need far greater. Walking resistance increase somewhat. Or launch resistance, that makes sense. It's bigger. It's weird though, really weird. For launch resistance, unknown. Changes. Hold on a second. I have to keep my eyes peeled between this and that, so it's a little bit difficult to do both those. Just give me a second or two. Okay, where was I? It's alright. The cause of the glitch is unknown. Changes in. Wait, that's weird. Did I read this wrong somewhere? Well, whatever. Is caused by it or more extreme versions of the mushroom effect. That's okay. Yeah, the line looks like it's kind of glitched there. Whatever. The mushroom has the effect. Depending on how the Yoshi increases, Jig has a size beyond the size it comes through the puff up glitch. Interesting, interesting. So it actually gets a bonus from doing that. I've never heard of that. That's a long description, so I wanted to read it all and see exactly what all was there. If there's anything kind of neat to see here. Very, very neat to know, though. Okay, give me a second or two before I continue, because I want to read on this a little bit more, actually. There's some fascinating shit you can find when you look these kind of things up, like glitches. There's very, very good glitches out there in games that are fascinating to talk about in games. This is definitely one of those, in my opinion. Just a very, very unique glitch with some very, very interesting side effects. Also, oh boy, we're still not even quite at 100, but I think we're almost there, just a little bit further. I wish we could get our shiny today, though. It'd be nice if we could get done with this and not have to think about doing this anymore, but nope. Well, whatever. Diffusion beam glitch. I'm reading this and I think this is the one I talked about. Rob the Mill and diffusion because it didn't last indefinitely. I know about that already. And this one's, I think, like I said, the most. It says it's the most useful, basically. Yeah, the most practical application of the glitch. Give me a second. Can keep reading it in a moment. I need to focus. Okay, so where was I? Move can sometimes get stuck on one of its, or stuck in one of its modes. Interesting. Edger often fixes this. It's resealed before the beam is released. While not firing anything at all. Interesting, very interesting. I remember using that a little bit to mess around back in the day. That was a very, very neat glitch. Also, my fingers are fucking aching again. There's two more I see that I don't actually know about. Golden glitch, invincible glitch, huh? Seems like people like made up the shit about Giga Bowser and Wario Man or whatever, unless I'm wrong, because I don't see anything about that on here, and I mean, it sounded like it was something that wouldn't really work. I saw people claiming that, and there was never any proof of it, and they're not listed on here either. Let's see what this golden glitch is, and there's another one beneath this that sounds interesting, involving Meta Knight, evidently. And see what the fuck that is, too. Just a second. Okay, right, add this up. Golden glitch, Cursion, Fox, Falco, Wolf, Kirby, or Mark. And they were said to final smash us a lot. The Kirby and Kirklet. Or it becomes stuck in its own state. This camera remains zoomed in until the player gets close-up last seconds. Time may remain slowed. No more smash balls will appear unless the player gets KO'd. Or the character will be able to act as normal and continue their neutral special move. Golden aura surround the character in the Final Smash standby mode. Or named after said characters otherwise acting normally. That's an interesting one, so it's just supposed to make them look sort of like they have a Final Smash. I don't know, that's a very, very pointless sounding glitch, but also very, very neat sounding glitch at the same time. I wish I'd heard about this shit earlier, but I mean, finding stuff and discovering this kind of stuff when you're younger on the internet, when it wasn't super developed, wasn't the easiest thing ever. I mean, it was still out there, but I didn't know very much about it. Anybody have any good, any fun experiences, like glitches in games you want to talk about, or anything you want to bring up? I don't mind talking about whatever. I'm just talking about game glitches because it's another easy topic for me to discuss, something that I wanted to talk about for a little bit, and I'm still going to talk a little bit more because I want to talk about this subject. I think it's a very, very good subject, that something that brings in some interesting conversation, in my opinion, so why not consider talking about it more? I think it's worth talking about for a little while, so yeah. Hope you guys don't mind. Hope the stream's somewhat interesting, at least. I'm not sure if I'm doing a great job with it. I'm trying my best to keep things interesting, though. Okay, let me see this last description. Knight begins to use Galaxy Darkness on any character to become invincible but frozen in place. That's interesting. I've never heard of that one. It seems like it'd be very, very useless on anybody, in general, when it comes to, Meta Knight, so we're not saying that anybody that Meta Knight's fighting, Meta Knight would get no use out of it, but I guess if you had some purpose in, a tournament or something, you could cheat with that, and that's not something I'd say would be okay to do, but I could see that being something somebody could pull off if they had, knowledge of it. I enjoyed Brawl, but yeah, there were a lot of glitches in the game. It was still a good game overall, but it was definitely laggy and glitchy. There's probably some others that I was thinking of that I haven't remembered. We can talk about this for a little bit. Should have a video down here. Let me see if there's anything not mentioned in here that's like in this video. Anything good. Seeing a little bit how this works right now, and okay, yeah, I think I'm seeing exactly what I was talking about. Interesting. Okay, whatever. I was just checking that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, okay, it's just these things that are mentioned. I could watch them both. There's no point, though, and it's not going to be able to show anything more, so I'll just leave it at saying that and not saying anything else. I'm going to look on this Wikia, though, because I'm curious. I've heard about a lot of good Smash glitches before, and I mentioned quite a few of them. There's any others that I haven't heard of, and I'm trying to think, because I want to see if there's anything really cool here that's worth it. Wait a second, is this really what this is? I'm looking at this, the name entry glitch, because it says here, and I didn't think that was the one that let you play as Master Him. Maybe I was wrong, though. Let me see. Yeah, there's apparently several effects for this. I don't know what this is all about. Let's see. Name entry glitch. Obviously, it lets you play as Master Him, but it has like a bunch of weird things you can do. I'm going to go for the other ones I can see here before I talk about Master Hand anymore. Excuse me. It says use an all black character from a 0-second meter. Play 0-second melee. Excuse me. Play alone. That's weird and a very, very odd one. I wonder how that's pulled off. Not that I care. Just like, yeah, can play alone if you play this glitch. Not have an opponent. Why would you ever want to play Smash Bros without another opponent? I think there's like, I don't know if there's a mode for that or not in Smash now, but like, I don't know why you would want to start the game up without an enemy or anything. Like, even training mode, you get something to do when you're playing Smash. Starting up a match and there's nobody there, that would be weird. Not even a CPU. Glitches in the series are certainly interesting. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if this is different from what I'm thinking of on this entry. I was the third player, not the first, apparently. Let's see, just double checking this. You gotta play stamina mode for play as Master Hand, and okay, there's two different methods for it. It's a Smash thing. I'm just reading up on video game glitches. Welcome, if anybody news here. Feel free to, like, bring up any glitches you guys want to talk about, or anything important you want to talk about. I don't mind. I'm just talking about game glitches. I think it's a fun topic, and I thought it'd be fun to discuss certain game glitches, and I decided to look some up for a little bit and see what kind of cool stuff there is. Let me see what I can find in just a second and check on anything more. So far, I haven't seen anything else that's noteworthy that I haven't spotted. I just mentioned this Master Hand thing. Let's see. Yeah, I get that in controller slot 3. Let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Damn it. There's a lot of text here, and I don't want to sit here and read all of it right away, but let's see if I can get it through. Okay, it says it doesn't work on tournament mode, whatever, then... Oh, I see. This is the one where it's not the name thing. You need to have a blank name or whatever. I think... I don't know if I played this one, or if I used the other one. There's 2 ways to pull it off, apparently. Oh, right. I think this might be the one I was doing. You have to do the name entry, and if you do it, then you end up going straight to the level, and then you played, and you see Master Hand spawn on the level, so that might have been what I was thinking of. That might have been the one that I mentioned earlier. You have to pull off like a very, very simple method. It's easier to see like a video than it is for me to explain it, though. The Master Hand thing is actually really fucking confusing to pull off in Melee. Let's see. Much similar works in Melee or Special Melee. Interesting. You get them 2 controllers. Second in any other port. to select a character over the back button. Wait, let's see. One third port to select a name. So at the same time, their options. Or maybe it was that. I don't remember. They're both like very, very similar-ish, and I don't remember which one I pulled off. Whatever. Very, very interesting glitch. Anyway, where was I? Hold on a second. For anybody who is here, welcome to the stream. If I didn't already say it, I think I did. Like I said, feel free to say anything. I'm sorry if I haven't given a warm welcome. I've not been intending to. I haven't really... I've read the chat. I've been trying to pay attention, but I've gotten a little bit sidetracked. Like I said, I'm just looking for... There's some more game glitches I want to talk about, because I find these are fun to discuss. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that I can mention. Egg lay glitch. I remember seeing this one on here somewhere, and I want to look this up if I can find it. I think that's probably the only other one I can see that's worth mentioning. Did I forget to add an encounter? I am not certain. Fuck. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll skip that one if I did. I'm not gonna get up in a bind over it. I gotta say, I've been really frustrated how long I've been wasting on this Regice shiny hunt, though. Not getting any results, and been doing this for like 8 days now, and I'm well over 2,000. It feels like I'm like slowly just sitting here wasting my time, and nothing is coming of it. Is this it, maybe, or... See, I'll try clicking this egg lay, see if it shows anything, and... No, okay, it shows it, and it doesn't describe it. Maybe there's a mention of it. Give me a second. It looks like it's like a thing where it makes characters bigger, but... I don't know, because I've never heard of this glitch. And it shows like a giant character here. I know you can like do something in Brawl with like certain characters that are big, and you can actually increase their size if you like lay an egg with them with Yoshi, so there's that. Interesting. I'd search for Smash glitches. I'm gonna see if I can see more here really quickly, but oh wait. Well, shit, this is for Ultimate. I'm gonna keep looking through here a little bit further then. If I don't find anything, we'll move over to another game, or we'll change topics. I just want to talk about glitches because I like this subject quite a bit. I wish I could fucking focus on what I was doing a little bit better, but I can't fucking look away from the screen while I'm doing this pattern, otherwise I end up messing up a little bit. I know there's some, there's been a few cases on Ultimate where there's been some fun glitches that pop up and new characters are introduced. That's something that's fun to watch. Like Steve had a glitch where it like stuck in a minecart and involved like not being able to get out unless you were hit. That was something that was like really, really stupid. I remember being a glitch. Huh. I thought I remembered there being a list of glitches somewhere I found that had like some really, really big ones. I don't see anything though. Maybe I'll look into that later and see if there's like a wiki entry or something like full of Smash Bros glitches, because there were definitely... Oh wait, you know, I forgot one glitch. That's the last one I'm gonna bother mentioning since I can't find anything else that I can bring up. There was one more Smash glitch though. It was in Ultimate, patched out already. There was a glitch involving like the Smash Ultimate Assist trophies. You could get... Shit, I wasn't even meaning to do that. I did that without even thinking. Whatever, I guess. Not really a big deal, but still. As long as we didn't bother to try and waste too much time. Anyway, yeah, where was I? I was gonna say that if there was a glitch involving assist trophies, and you could, like... If you did the right thing, you could, like, play with Isabelle, and you could, like, fishing rod hook a trophy at the same time. I think you did like 2 fishing rods on a trophy or something, and start spawning like infinite of an assist trophy. Really, really fun and really, really dumb glitch, and I think I've done it on stream once or twice when I had the opportunity. It was pretty fun to mess around with while it was around. I remember a lot of people goofing around with it, using it for stuff like spawning infinite Waluigis and that kind of nonsense. That was a fun one to see, like, all these different assist trophy characters pop up and see all sorts of crazy bullshit happening. Like the Rathalos getting spawned constantly and there being a ton of them on the screen at the same time. Oh man. Smash has definitely some of the more fun and more stupid glitches to play around with. I've found that I've enjoyed them a lot. It's enough discussion of Smash glitches for right now. Let's see, other glitches that I can think of, if there's any that I can remember. Wasn't what I really meant to talk about when I talked about cheese earlier. I mean, we can talk about that still in games. Like, say for instance, you're playing like a Mario level and you can make a jump that's not expected. That's what I mean, more like cheese. Get through like a level through something like that. I don't know if it counts as a cheese or not, but I remember in like Mario 2 actually, there was like a thing you could do where you can go through on World 6. I don't think it's a cheese actually. I think it was like a thing with a glizz. Yeah, I think it's like a desert level, excuse me, and you could like go underneath quicksand at a certain point. I think it was like, it might have been intentional, but you could go under and like pop out on the other side, and then you could get it like to a door that leads you to like near the end of the level, and you can go finish this level off particularly quickly. That was like a thing I remembered very, very well. I don't think it's a glitch. It probably was a cheese that wasn't, I don't know if it was intended or not. I'd have to imagine maybe with the door there, though. I remember that pretty well. Also, another cheese that I don't love, fucking people putting seeing dev doors in levels when they're playing Mario Maker. It's like, if you're not good enough to beat your own level, you shouldn't be uploading it. There's no excuse for having a dev door in your level. It's pretty damn pathetic that they were trying to put a level in that leads to like the end of their level. You know, I would say a fucking door that leads to the end of the level, all because they can't beat the level correctly. It's like, it's too hard. Maybe you should stop and think about the fact that you shouldn't be uploading it in the first place. I agree with Nintendo's decision to make it so that you need to beat your level before you can upload it. I think that's a better scenario than letting anybody upload their levels regardless if they've completed them or not. So, yeah, I'll be honest, I think that that's a good decision they'd stuck by. Also, oh boy, I have not gotten very far for how far I've been wanting to get in terms of my encounters right now. I'm not doing great. I've been slowed down a little bit, probably because I stopped time to look stuff up and I wasted some time, so my bad. Hopefully this doesn't end up being a very slow session. I mean, we're going to take more than normal by the sheer fact we're doing more encounters than usual, but still. So, yeah, I don't know. Sorry if the stream isn't as interesting as normal. I'm trying to keep these interesting, but sometimes it's a little bit rough. Sometimes it's not that easy. I definitely feel like I've not done as great as I could. It's not terrible, but it's not perfect either. I wish I could say I'm doing a little bit better on the stream time, though. It's the other cheese stuff. I know this isn't cheese necessarily, but Mario Kart has some fun stuff. There are some cheese, like, glitches. I've seen, like, one in, like, Mario Kart Wii. You can do something with, like, the volcano track. If you do, like, the rat thing, you can get up on a certain point, Rumble Volcano, or what it's called. You can, like, reach a point where you're not supposed to, and there's, like, a unexpected trigger for the sake of, like, getting up on the spot and getting a lap it finished. Like, you can drive to a certain spot you're not supposed to and finish the lap early, and lets you kind of finish the map easier. It's like, that's a thing I remember from that. That was a glitch I remember pretty well, because it was like something that got some popularity. Was it a good glitch? I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd say kind of a weird one, not a bad one, just a glitch. It's definitely not something I'd recommend in like a normal session. Like, if you get that and you use it, it's kind of cheating to use that to win the match, frankly, but whatever, not gonna be able to stop people from using it. And back in the Wii days, Nintendo didn't put on any patches yet, so glitch was unpatched, something that hadn't been stopped, and lots of people were exploiting it. There were some really weird glitches in Mario Kart Wii. Not like a lot of terrible ones, but not great glitches either. Just glitches that were very, very unfortunate that they slipped by Nintendo's radar and didn't get patched. Like, there was something that I don't know how it worked. Remember back in the day, there was a leaderboard or time trial glitch or something. People would, like, do something where they could play, like, 15 seconds of the level or whatever and get, like, a record, or they'd have, like, really low times. I know if they didn't play 15 seconds, they got, like, a time was, like, 15 seconds, and don't know why. There was, I don't know what caused it either. There were these fucking time trials that you would see where there were, like, people that had, like, 15 seconds, and then when you watch their replay, it would show them, like, drive into a wall, and then nothing would happen for the rest of the replay. They had, like, an unrealistic time. They didn't actually beat the track in the replay. It was the weirdest shit, actually. Some shit I did not understand at all, and very, very annoying glitch to see that was, like, up pretty often on the game. I don't know if I can remember any others, actually. I don't recall seeing too many other glitches, if anything, actually, in Mario Kart Wii. I mean, and I don't think there was anything. I remember for a while snaking was like a big thing, and then they kind of fixed it where it's not really effective. So many people tried to stand up for snaking, and it felt like it was really cheesy and really stupid. Like it didn't really deserve to be something that gave people a win, just because they were zigzagging and they're fucking drifting and getting more speed like that. That was something that deserved to be patched out, in my opinion. I feel that was the right move from Nintendo to patch snaking out. I find it really weird how many people got, like, incredibly over-defensive over snaking, and who will, oh, the snaking's so bad, like, why don't you just learn to do it or whatever? It's like, why does it matter whether or not people can pull it off? It's basically cheating. It's abnormal, and it's stupid. It's something that's not very simple to figure out, and it's like, hey, I feel like that being a weird skill that just got developed out there and left out there, and people started picking up normally, as in every match. It kind of ruined the fun of the game, honestly. It's how weird it was. You had to snake in order to play the game, and it wasn't playing the game as intended. It was making it really awkward and unfun to revisit it. That's something I hated, because I saw it in Mario Kart DS a lot, and a lot of people used it to get, like, gaps you couldn't actually close between them and everybody else. It's like, yeah, snaking is something I never liked in that game. I'm not really the type of person who tried to do that kind of stuff in racing games either. I know it was in F-Zero GX. And I think F-Zero GX had some more crazy shit in it. I'm a little more okay with it than F-Zero, because, I mean, F-Zero, I know at least in GX, you can, like, do some crazy jumps where you can skip part of the, like, stages you're on, so I feel like that's a little bit different. You can have some cool stuff that you go through. Oh, no, I didn't want to look at this crap. God damn it. I don't care about this. Oh, god damn it. I don't want to see this right now. No, no, no. I don't want to see fucking cutscene. Fine, whatever. I wasn't even trying to fucking activate this. At least now that I've actually did this by accident, that means I don't actually have to fucking potentially deal with it ever happening again. Of course, I accidentally wander over to this goddamn, like, crown thing by mistake, and then this happens. I didn't mean to do that, but I'm gonna save my game so that I don't have that happen again. And are you fucking serious? I wasn't trying to walk back in. Just make sure we don't have literally any possibility of me fucking re-triggering this cutscene. That's all. I think that's for the best, for just the sake of not dealing with that ever again. I don't like how they put a skip movie button in this game, and when you actually use it, it doesn't really help any. It's very selective where the fucking skip cutscene thing actually works at. just completely useless most of the time, frankly. Okay, now that I've done that, just to make sure we don't have to fucking deal with this problem coming up and bothering me again, I'm just going to say fuck it and goddamn get it out of the way right now. Okay, right. I'm gonna check my Pokédex. I don't know if did I check it? I don't remember. I don't know why I have trouble remembering this. Of course, fucking getting delayed coming back here because fucking unskippable dialogue, fucking Peony bothering me, and oh, I just happened to hit A on the wrong spot on my way back. That's lovely, wasting another 3 or 4 minutes over a few accidental fuck-ups while I'm trying to get back here. Whatever, though. At least we're back where we don't have to worry about it anymore. Hopefully we can get the shiny soon. I want to be done with this so bad. I don't want to be stuck sitting here on shiny hunting Regice so much longer. I just desperately want this shiny hunt to be done. I put in a lot of effort. Also, hang on a second. Am I... Oh, I guess I started a little late. I was going to say, like... I thought I started at 3, and I was going to say, surprised I'm not seeing my time reflect on closer to, like, 2 hours as a result of that, but I guess it's because I started a little bit late. It's like 3:10, so I guess it makes sense that it's only there. It's only at 4:44 right now, so it makes sense it's only been so long. Alright, never mind. I got a little bit confused for a second, but it's all good now. Streaming can sometimes be a little bit of a headache. Not a big deal, but sometimes. Let's see. Anything else I want to talk about? Glitches that I was talking about for a minute. I'm thinking right now. That's one thing I like about speedrunning, I guess. Like, it all revolves around cheese and glitches and stuff. I find finding new stuff and speedruns is really, really cool. I remember, like, one thing was that, like, in Pikmin, I know there's, like, a glitch in Pikmin 2, at least. You can do something where you can, like, actually get blue Pikmin early in the game and do a speedrun, like, significantly faster if you pull off, like, the glitch for this. You can get your blue Pikmin, you can and actually make certain that you get into, like, certain dungeons a little bit easier, or a little earlier. I find that really, really nice, actually, how that happens. Like, that's something I like, frankly, is that you can get blue Pikmin where you're intended to. I think that's a useful glitch, and I'd say that's a really, really good one. Is it an amazing glitch? I guess it's pretty good, actually. It lets you do some stuff you wouldn't be able to do normally. You can sequence break the game a little bit, so I'd say that's pretty neat to see how they've done that. I'm glad they let you do that. I don't actually got the shit they patched that in the Wii version, but I mean, seeing it in the GameCube version is really cool. I've tried it a few times. Really fucking difficult to pull off, but it's a neat glitch. I think there's a few, like, really, really interesting glitches I remember from Pikmin, actually, that are pretty good. Not a whole ton of them, but I remember some. Let's see, what is another one that was a big one? Because I remember some decent ones, but not a whole lot. I know there's, like, let's see, you can, like, skip some stuff in Pikmin 3. That's not really too big, in my opinion. It's cool, and it's good for speedrunning. I mean, you can get significantly more done than you would otherwise if you use these kind of glitches, but that's not what I was looking for, thinking about when it came to this topic, was like speedrunning necessarily. I mean, speedrunning's still neat though. Oh right, there was the thing from Pikmin 1 actually. You can do this thing where you can go and you can basically get like the little mushroom Pikmin, the little Puffman or whatever they are called, like the ones the Puffstool infects, and have them follow you and not actually attack you if you do it right. That's a glitch I thought was neat. Apparently they maintain, like, all their aspects when they're, like, their original color, I think, and they still die if they touch, like, water or fire, but I find it neat how you can actually control them to an extent. I don't think you can actually grab them and, like, throw them. If you try to grab them, they latch on to Olimar like they would normally, and they'd start beating you, so Can't actually, like, use them for that purpose, unfortunately. There was another big glitch that I remembered. Oh, yeah. There was one from Pikmin 2 where if you go towards, like, a ledge, and go... excuse me, my goddamn nose is acting really fucking awful and bothering me, and my throat isn't helping right now. Having congestion issues. But yeah, I want to say was that you can go toward the ledge, have an enemy follow you, and have them walk off a cliff. It's a really, really fun little glitch. Once they walk off, they'll fall off. There's a bit of a problem with, like, dweevils and whatnot, like enemies that can carry stuff that'll do this crap, that'll cause issue, but not really that big of a deal. I've noticed the glitch has, like, a failsafe for this. Like, it happens to drop the treasure in the area, it drops it back into the area you're in, like, drops it on the ground if you have an enemy fall off the map like that. It's a very, very neat little glitch, though. Glitch I remembered well from playing Pikmin 2 that I discovered at some point. I don't know when I discovered it, or not even I discovered it, somebody else discovered it, I think. I mean, maybe, I don't remember. I don't know if I saw it on YouTube or if I found it by myself while I was playing. I don't think I was the one who discovered it, obviously, but I remember that I had seen an enemy do this, I think. How it walks off the cliff. It was a good glitch and a funny one. See the enemy fucking die immediately if you get them to walk off of there, though. Just something that was obviously not completely intentional, but really funny nonetheless, and had some use since you could kill enemies easier with it. Seemed like it was a very, very helpful glitch in that regard. Let's see, any more that I can think of? Any other glitches? Not even just Pikmin and stuff, just in general. Let's see. Not certain, actually. I don't think there's any other Pikmin ones I can name, actually, that are big, though, before I forget. I mean, there's not really anything I can remember. I do know that, like, there's quite a few Easter eggs in Pikmin that I've not seen that I'd like to. That might be a stream to mess around with later, if people are interested and want to check it out. I don't know if people will, but I'd like to do a stream in Pikmin 1 or 2 on, like, a save file and try exploring, like, little Easter eggs that people found in the games at some point, because I know there's a few of those that are really, really cool, and I'd like to see those for myself on stream or something. I don't remember all. I remember, like, one thing I bumped into from, like, the wiki. I haven't seen it in game, but I found there was an enemy that only shows up on a particular day in a particular area that you can find, and I believe it's in Pikmin 2. I love the idea of that kind of stuff, even though it's difficult to look for. Like, that's a great thing. It's weird, because I remember looking into this when I was, like, playing the game, and this enemy, actually in Pikmin 2, there's no log of this enemy in the Piccolopedia. It just does not have a Piccolopedia entry whatsoever. Just completely blank there. Oh well. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm thinking here for a second before I say any more. Might need a moment or two. I want to check, because I hate that I remember a lot of these glitches, but I forget them. I'm going to save the glitch talk and cheese talk a little bit for, like, a little bit more later. I feel like I can talk about it plenty, so certainly going to talk about a little bit after I finish bringing up if any more glitches I remember from Pikmin. And then we'll go ahead and move on to another subject. I'm going to look for this really quickly. Let's see. Got a few interesting ones. Okay. There's some apparently out of bounds glitch. I'm not sure how you pull that off. I'm not really going to bother looking into it right now. Maybe I'll look it up later. That's something that's kind of cool, though, because, I mean, going out of bounds in games is always fun, if you ask me. It's pretty nice to be able to get to mess around and, like, look around at environments and see stuff you wouldn't normally be able to see, and I genuinely enjoyed seeing little behind-the-scenes stuff, and for some reason, Nintendo is that dev that loves to put detail in places that the player was obviously never meant to see, and can make some fun glitches, or not fun, some fun stuff that you aren't intended to if you go out of bounds. I like that. That's not what I was looking for when it came to, like, more glitches. Oh yeah, another one was apparently one you can do in the demo if you're capable. You can, like, reach a boss earlier in the Pikmin 3 demo. I remember hearing about that. That's something I found to be pretty neat. I don't really care that too much, though. I didn't really care about playing the demo that much. I mean, I like Pikmin, but I didn't care to play the demo like it. Give me a second. I'm going to check something and see what I'm looking for. Oh, there's a few, actually, that I forgot about that are not that great. Some that I barely remembered. Most of these are about, like, the thing, like, the counter for your Pikmin glitching out for some reason. They don't, like, shoving the counter, and it says they glitch and don't show. Oh, that's not the crushing glitch. Never mind, I was reading something else. I thought I read the part about the drowning thing. I'll check that in a second. Crushing glitch is one I forgot about a little bit. Not a fun glitch. It's a glitch in Pikmin. You have your Pikmin die on you by accident and ends up with them fucking... like, what happens is, like, you'll be crushed by a dead enemy, basically, and their die... It's not intentional, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if they fixed it in either version of, like, Pikmin 1. It's not fixed in the GameCube version, I can say that much, but miserable glitch. Absolutely something that should have been fixed, and somehow they didn't fix it already. And for anybody says it's really supposed to be like a glitch, not useful, I don't think it's useful at all, but yeah, it's like, it's not fixed in the game, and it's not in the other games, so yeah, I would say it's not intentional, it's not meant to be in the games, frankly. It just happens and they fall on top of your like, Pikmin. That's something I don't like. It's a dumb thing. I think it's not completely illogical, but it's still a nuisance. Like, the corpse falls over on top of your Pikmin and kills them. I hate that. Drowning reset. What is this? I don't know if I've heard of this one or not. Non-blue Pikmin that remain drowning indefinitely without dying. That's a really, really weird glitch. I'm wondering if this means you could potentially use that and then maybe use it to move it forward to, like, get across areas you couldn't otherwise, or if you could actually or you actually can't use that for, like, anything useful. Like, that's not useful, but I'm assuming so. Let's see. Non-blue Pikmin and toss, either toss in the water or just run in the water with it. Drown, whistle, and run the Pikmin. Starts drowning sequence. Let's see, so wait a second. Alright, starts the drowning. So you run into it, and then you run to it and reset the drowning. Extended period of time. And that's right. Eventually, if they're not called the shore of the glitches, unrepeated. Interesting. I've seen people, like, pull Pikmin all the way from the water over to, like, other parts of, like, land before, and I know you can do that with this glitch. I don't know how you do it, but that seems like it's a very, very useful thing for trying to make it so you can get Pikmin in the areas you're not supposed to and beat the game quicker. Huh. There's a similar version in Pikmin 2 as well. Interesting. Give me a second or two. Libra glitch. I've never heard of this one. There's a lot of stuff on here, so hope you don't mind if I read on this. I mean, like I said, glitches in games are fascinating, so I find this stuff to be well worth talking about. Very, very interesting. So let's see. The Libra will bounce off the map and be forever unobtainable. Possible to complete, and it's one of the ones that's, like, big required. That would not be something I would want to deal with in terms of playing the game. And that looks... No, I don't think it is. That looked a little bit different to me at first, but I think it was just my eyes playing tricks on me. That's not shiny. I would have seen something or heard a shiny sparkle, because I think we had the time point, and it's in the time pass where it would have had the sparkle effect, and I didn't hear or see a thing. Shit, I'm a little bit annoyed, though, that I've been doing this for so long, and there's no shiny yet. In fact, I've had at least once now where I've accidentally mistaken the shiny, and seen the color for like a shiny when it's not, is pretty much a testament to how long I've been doing this crap and not getting anything out of it so far. Fucking lovely. Wasted all this fucking time for nothing. Oh well, whatever. I'll just double check, but I can tell you it's not. If it is, that would make me sad though. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, nothing. Thank God. That would be awful. This one's got that bad of a shiny though that I wouldn't even put past me to potentially shiny fail if I'm not paying attention. It's really just a bad shiny. Okay, so where was I? I'm looking at the Libra glitch thing from Pikmin. Apparently it happens at random. Hold on a second. If I've missed any chat messages, my bad. I have not been intending to avoid any, like, chat messages. I'm intending to read them, and I've been, like, a little bit less than focused, I'll admit. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Not my intention to ignore any chat messages, though. I promise that much. Okay, I don't know if I actually remember to up the counter, but I'm gonna do it just in case. I feel like I probably missed one at some point. I wasn't certain. I thought I had forgot to add it to 2171. There we go. How are we on time, actually? Nearly at 5 o'clock. That's a little bit annoying. I wish I would have started a little bit earlier, but I wasn't feeling up to it. Like I said earlier, my head was hurting. Right, I was talking about glitch talk in games, actually, so I'm going to continue with that a little bit. If anybody wants to discuss glitches, like I said, or anything really, discuss anything in games in general, feel free to. I don't mind. Wish somebody would chat in here to be a little more nice and lively, but whatever. It happens at random, incurring or not uncommon decisions at one view, and carrying the Libra from the ledge. Wait. It's on fall down. Bounce up and just land outside the area and into the abyss. I've never heard of that term, but okay. I'm guessing that's like can't reach it. It's where it's located. I think I know. Actually, I think I know that is. I think I might be talking about the thing on the water-based area, the Forest Naville or whatever. I forgot about that. I was thinking of the other thing and not the Libra. That had like a void around it or whatever. That would make sense that could happen. So yeah, I could imagine that could eventually happen. So yeah, I wouldn't want to see that happen. Give me a second. I'm just checking this. It says it makes it bounce though, and she land into the abyss. Like I said, that's shit. The fuck act it'll like fucking drop into an uncollectible place where you can't grab it. I think it'd rarely come back. The part will rarely come back. Although I'm surprised that there's reports of it coming back at all, according to this. And also, I wonder if they found out about this during Pikmin 1. Like, I genuinely am thinking, like, maybe they knew about this and they programmed the whole treasures falling back onto the map because of that. I think that's a smart thing and a very, very good thing they did if they didn't know about this. But if they didn't and they did it, then it's good on them either way. Like, it's a shame this can happen in Pikmin 1. Actually, they had to have known in Pikmin 2, surely, because enemies can run off the fucking level holding a treasure, and in that case, they're probably going to die holding the treasure, so it would be bad if a fucking enemy could fucking leap off the level holding an item you need, and then you can't actually collect it. That would basically make it impossible to 100% the game entirely. And I would not want that. You kind of need 100% to really finish the game's ending, at least 100% of all the treasure, like I'm saying here. Anyway, let's see other stuff here. Object nudging, another interesting sounding one. Let me go through this list here before I continue looking and reading anymore. This one sounds interesting, though. Apparently one you can use to ride on enemies. I don't know how you do that, but that's interesting. I'll look in that, see what that says a little bit later. And clone Pikmin. Cool. It uses a sweeping snitch bug, but only clones one. That seems kind of worthless, honestly. Trolling the mushroom Pikmin, arguing about that. That's a simple one that I've talked about. That's not... I remember how it works. I would talk about it more if I did. Whatever, though. What is this? Okay, about a candy pot bud. Very, very simple one. Apparently it involves throw 9, and then you can throw a 10th one as a yellow Pikmin. And after that, it'll spawn an extra Pikmin. Oh, you gotta... Okay, let me see. I think I'm seeing this. So you need a yellow and then a red. I'm guessing... Okay, that's how it works. So... Is that even useful for anything? I guess you want to have one extra. I don't feel like there's a purpose to this necessarily, unless you... I don't think there's any treasure that would actually benefit it from... I was thinking of, like, something else. I was thinking of, like, those little candy pop buds in 2 where you can, like, throw in, like, Pikmin. You can get, like, 9 Pikmin back in return. That's the thing I was thinking of. It's not in Pikmin 1, though, so never mind. It would have been, like, a useful variant of this. We could find a way to get extra out of that. Or, like, some, like, Pikmin 2 that'd come in handy for the sake of using it for trying to get it, like, purple and white on top of that. Or, like I said, the Queen Candy Pot Bud, those things. Useful for that purpose, really. At least it would be if it was available in that. I don't know if that's a thing in that game. Oh, here's another one that's really lame. The fucking Pikmin eating bridge thing, where they basically get trapped, either falling to the ground or they get stuck by they like underneath the bridge or whatever, and they die. It's not a very good glitch. They get under it at all sometimes. They end up dying. It's just a weird glitch. Pikmin 1 has a lot of bad glitches that don't help you in any way and end up only hurting you if you end up prey to the glitch, so... Yeah, there's some glitches in that game that are really annoying and make it impossible to replay it and actually enjoy it. That makes me remember, like, the new play control version of Pikmin 1. I'm reading all this stuff about how many things are in here, like... Pretty bad how they left a lot of glitches in here and didn't fix any of them, and they just left them alone. That's something that's really annoying and really stupid. In fact, I'm a little bit annoyed they didn't bother to fix it. Whatever, though. Okay, like I said, I was going to skim this, and I haven't been doing that, so my bad. I'm going to look at this and see exactly what kind of stuff I've been missing. I wasn't intending to read all these and look at all these, but it's just... It's very neat for me to see exactly what all kind of glitches are on here. Quite a few. What is this? This sounds good. Ship part whistle glitch. I'll come back to read that in a little bit. Throwing non-blue Pikmin underwater. Blue on the shore. In the group. Whistle at the shore. Wait, am I reading this right? Let me see. In the reach of the whistle. Blue Pikmin on the group. Okay, I read that right. Let's see. Give me a second or two. This is a neat sounding thing, though. The Pikmin at the shore one's walking towards, or grab onto the blue Pikmin and press B to grab the other Pikmin. Right after, throw the Pikmin somewhere else, like a different shore. Huh. That does sound like it could be helpful, actually, though. I'm just looking through here. There's not anything. It's like too many stuff here. Hold on a second. Whew. I'm actually surprised how much energy I'm feeling right now. I didn't think I'd be able to stream and like talk today. I'm glad I am. It's not really a big deal, but yeah, I'm actually able to feel like I can talk quite a bit without like losing my ability to keep thinking of stuff I want to talk about. I feel like I've got like an abundance of topics available to me. I'm glad. Although I wish that there were more people around, people to chat with. It seems like today there's not been like really anybody. Been unfortunate. I'm just looking through this, like I said, so don't mind me for a second. I'm a little bit quiet. I'm just looking at these glitches to see what all's here. It's cool to look up a game you like, see stuff on it. I think that's something that most people will do, actually, since I've been talking about the subject for a while, but I do think there's a lot of, like, subject matter to bring up, and talking about video game glitches, everybody can appreciate and enjoy glitches to an extent. I'm going to move on from the subject in a little bit, but I'm nearly done. No, I don't want any free Pokemon or free anything. I'm not interested. I also don't care about trading. I'm going to put this out there now. I don't know this is what's being offered in the first place, but I've had multiple people try to give me a free shiny, and I don't want that. I don't want some free Pokemon from somebody, and also I would be worried about getting a hacked Pokemon, so no. I don't know why you would want to randomly give me a free Pokemon in the first place, though. Sorry, not interested. Welcome to stay here and chat, but I have no interest in taking a free Pokemon from anybody right now. Or probably really, I don't think I care about doing that ever. I'm not really going to be asking for a free Pokemon from people. It's not how I roll, honestly. What is... Okay, that's kind of glitches I mentioned in game. Corrupt objects. Object in an area teleport somewhere it shouldn't. Random parts with geometry. There's no way to reproduce it? That's odd. And it only affects items you've carried in Pikmin 1. Interesting. Very interesting and really weird on top of that. What a bizarre sounding glitch. I think most of these don't sound too interesting. I'm just checking. Give me a second or two. Like I said, I was reading up on the stuff. There's a lot. I guess that's the nature of when you look at glitches or... Oh, shit, I thought I'd hit the fucking A button over the statue already, and it turns out I was standing there. God damn it. I'm used to fucking hitting it and then not seeing the thing do anything until it's like in the battle where I can see the Regice. I completely forgot that I needed to get and check and make sure I actually reached where I was supposed to, and standing there on the wall, just great, lovely. I guess, like I was saying earlier, nature of glitches in games. Sorry if I got sidetracked and I'm not making my speech feel completely coherent. I'm trying to talk about certain subjects, and then stuff like this starts happening. Great. Yeah, I was talking about glitches earlier. I've been reading up on glitches, which is a fun thing to look at. There's a lot of useless things I'm seeing in here. Yeah, okay, I think I've already checked on most of this. I'm going to go back and read for anything cool out of this. Let's see here. What else is there on this, actually? I think you know what? I don't know if I remember which one I saw that I wanted to look at. There was something on here. If I could just remember where. I honestly hope this doesn't take much longer. I'm already feeling a little burned out in the shiny hunt, but also it does not feel good knowing that I've thrown away all this time on this hunt for a shiny that is so barely noticeable and so bad looking that it's honestly not worth it. The only reason I'm bothering is for the sake of getting the entire like set of Regis and shiny. It's pretty bad how crap the Regice shiny looks, though. Like, there's no actual good use for this. It's just wasting my time right now, and I'm honestly contemplating stopping, but I'm not planning to, so I'm gonna keep toughing it out and hoping it works out. I'll admit I'm getting a little bit sick of it, though. literally everything in this game except for the legendaries that are like in these temples or whatever can be shiny hunted so much easier. It's a little bit frustrating how slow it goes. Whatever, though. Not a big deal. 1 second. I'm just looking through this list, so it's like finding what I want to look at that's hard, and I think I may have already found all I can find that's useful, because I thought I saw another one, and I'm not so certain anymore. Okay, I guess I was wrong. I thought I had found one more thing I wanted to read, and I may have misremembered. Whatever, we're done talking about video game glitches for right now, then. Okay, give me a second or two. I just need a moment. Not only do I need to catch my breath, but I also want a second to think, because I have a lot of things that I could talk about and want to, but I don't know which one I want to talk about is the only problem. That's another thing that's a little awkward when streaming. Not knowing exactly what you want to discuss and to bring up. It's always a little weird to have, like, so many things on your mind and not be able to think of anything that you want to say. It feels awkward when you have that problem. Oh my god, we're going to reach 2200 and not have a shiny raid. This raid is, like, not anything popping up. If I've been proven wrong, then good, but I don't like this at all. We're about to reach the point where we go above the first Regice shiny hunt we did in terms of encounters, and I don't want that. I don't want to fucking be in the 2500s or higher, and good lord, the game is not even remotely giving me an opportunity to do anything about it. Oh well, whatever, I guess. Let's see here. Give me a second. I'm going to mark this off for things I talked about. Okay, I think I'm good on that. Now let me see what I want to discuss, actually. This is one that... I've got another one that I could talk about that'd be good, but the problem is there's more people around that'd be better. Not really a big deal, though. Whatever. I guess I can bring up something else for a minute, something that I wanted to talk about. So... I guess we're technically getting to the point where now we're... Actually, I don't know if we got the 2189 or 2188 shit. I'm just going to fucking wait until the next encounter to count it up again. We might be here a little longer than I'd like today, but whatever. Anyway, say like... Now that we're finally able to actually properly do some shit, even if we're going to have to wait until a little later before the coronavirus is killed off and we can actually enjoy 2021, like... So... What are some good memories you guys had the last year, if any, in 2020? And also, what are some good memories you've had for, like the last decade? Like, the 2010s to 2019 point before 2020. I'm curious to hear that. We can also talk about bad stuff that happened, too, memories-wise. Like, obviously, we all experienced the virus, so I don't need to see anybody being a smartass and being like, oh, coronavirus. I mean, obviously, I think most of us would agree that coronavirus is the worst thing that's happened in a long time. I'm trying to think here on good memories. I mean, I graduated when I was in 2011, so I remember that I was out of school. Obviously, it was nice to finally be free from school and not have to think about it. I was glad to be done. I think a lot of people would agree that they get to like the end of school, they're finally glad to be out and not have to think about it anymore, so I'm sure I'm not alone on that one. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would agree with me about being glad they got out of school. I did enjoy, like, talking with friends and whatnot, but I was ready and happy to be done by that point. Let's see, what all did I do during my time during the 2010s that was noteworthy? I didn't really remember a lot. I remember I played a lot of games that I enjoyed. Like, I checked out a lot of online games, and I played a lot of stuff for the first time. I picked up my own consoles and got my own PC. I played PC games. I tried to move out after some time, and it was not that easy to find any place. I didn't have any money, like SSI or anything. My parents were not helping, and I told you guys about how I went to college, and didn't work out, so there's that. There's one thing that happened, which was unfortunate and not very good, and also another problem I had was I was stuck living with my parents who were determined to make my life a living hell if I couldn't get a job, and it was a pain because I didn't know what I was trying to do with my life at the moment. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should get a job or what, or if I should be, what I should be doing at that point. I wasn't really aware of what to do, and I still wanted to go to college, and my parents weren't helping me any, so yeah, I was feeling frustrated, and I was upset with them. I remember at some point I ended up running away from home. I was more than old enough to be on my own, though, and I wanted to get away from them. Weren't helping any, and I stayed with my grandparents for like a year or two before I think I went to college or whatever. Not in college, just like a school in San Antonio I've told you guys about before. It was a rough point for me. I did not know what I was doing with my life, and I wasn't ready for a job yet because I didn't really know what I needed to do with my life, so I didn't know where to go yet and what to do, and I still needed time, and my parents were not helping me. They were throwing too many things about adult life at me and not actually helping me with anything, and making me feel kind of crappy, honestly. It was very much a lame experience that I am glad I can forget about, but it was not something that I would say was a good time. It was actually a really, really rough time. I wish I could say that it was good and that there were some good times. After I got through with San Antonio, things got better, but I had problems with my grandparents and parents. My grandparents had bothered me about stuff too often, like, for no reason when I was trying to stream, and I did that because I wanted to do something, and I found streaming to be alright and fun. It was something I enjoyed. I didn't know what to do about a job, and I couldn't find one easy, and I was trying to get a job. I really, really was trying to get into a relationship too. Still not got anywhere too far on that front. I've had 2 girlfriends in my whole life, and yeah. I mean, things got better, but it was a while before I got to move out on my own. I wish I could have said I got a job that I could work at that I really enjoyed, but nothing. I could not find a job where things were very good because I could not handle working with fucking buggies, and I was both in San Antonio and I had that kind of job, and I didn't like it working in where I live at now. It was not very fun. It was a job that sucked, and the people that I had to like deal with when it came to like grocery store customers were just jerks a lot of the time, and yeah, if I could have worked inside, not messing around with the fucking buggies and having an indoor job, I would have been perfectly okay with working inside. But I was not okay with the idea of sitting there trying to do fucking like moving buggies around. I wanted to be away from that and not have to deal with that shit, so yeah, I wanted to be able to avoid that stuff. I'm glad I was able to move out on my own and then move into an apartment. I feel like I would not want to lose this. I've talked to you guys about how I feel about that. I genuinely am happy to be able to live on my own. I mean, it's not amazing because I've been having some problems like motivating myself from depression of like not being in a relationship so long and feeling lonely. That's a problem, but outside of that, I appreciate everything about being able to live in an apartment, and I genuinely wouldn't trade this experience for the world because I like having access to being able to like get things done, do things I want to do, drive myself wherever, get out, pay my own bills, not have people berating me about stupid shit, and enjoying my life instead of feeling like I'm miserable. And I can do things that I couldn't do when I was living with like my parents or my grandparents. It's great to be an adult and free for once finally, because I didn't get to experience that until way too late in my life, and it was miserable. I had no control over my life, and I fucking hated it. I'm glad I live alone now. Although I do want to have a girlfriend, because I feel like that'd be better. Cause, like, somebody you actually care about and want to be with, it's a little bit different if you're able to work things out where the two of you are happy together and understand each other, whereas when you're a parent or a grandparent or something, it's not guaranteed to be that way. I've had both problems, and I try to respect my grandparents and my parents to an extent. I don't, not so much my parents because they've treated me really cruelly, but my grandparents, it's like it's. Actually, I would say like I genuinely like I want to respect their authority, but I also don't like how they'll take to the attitude of like trying to tell me what to do and demanding that I do something. It's like I cannot handle that. It's like I'm an adult. I want to be able to handle things the way I'm used to being able to doing, and I want to be able to do things on my own. I don't need somebody telling me to do stuff or trying to force me to do stuff. I'm not going to be somebody that gets along with somebody if you try to force me to. That's just the way my personality is, and neither my parents or my grandparents understood that. It's like, being nice to me, you'll get a lot better of a reaction on me than if you're rude to me. I'll say that. Oh well, whatever. I think I'm done talking on that subject for maybe a little bit. I don't know. I mean, what was I talking about again? I talked about, like, my adult life a little bit and some other stuff. I'll talk about memories, yeah. I'm not completely done. I'll talk about my apartment a little bit more, actually, and how something I wanted to say that I think I might have said on stream. I've at least told a friend this that I remembered, and I'll tell you guys in a second. Throat's acting up still, sorry. Ugh. God. Absolutely pain in the ass trying to do this. It's funny, I was planning if I got this done fast enough and something happened today that I might consider doing a little more through shiny hunting. Maybe I'd go after doing fucking Regirock resets, or not even resets, like Regirock, trying to get it through the temple and like reset word run away, and seems we're not going to get a chance for that because we're not likely to get a shiny. Not at this rate. I would be very, very surprised and very, very shocked if we get a shiny at this rate. I think our likelihood of that is really low now, so yeah, I'm not gonna expect that. Maybe it'll happen. Not counting on it, though. Also, get a little hungry, but I mean, whatever. Not gonna bother and think about it too much. Hey, Wayne, good to see you. Welcome back. I'm a little surprised that you were gone so long. I didn't see any of your messages. I don't know if you had any problems or you just left the stream, because I thought you were still watching and then disappeared. I'm glad you're back, though. Welcome back. You haven't missed out on a whole lot. I've been talking about a few things. I had a really, really long topic where I talked about game glitches for a little while, and talking about, like, good game glitches and fun glitches in games. If you have anything you want to add on to that, like, feel free to, like, bring up some glitches you remember, or, like, cheese in video games that you've seen. That's one thing I brought up that I thought was a good topic that I talked about for a while, so that's why I'm bringing it up again. Actually, chat's really silent right now. I don't know why nobody's saying a whole lot in the chat room today. Not that, like, it bothers me, but there's not been a lot of, like, engagement and, like, conversation today, which makes it a little bit awkward talking. Not too bad. It's just, yeah. I don't know about you guys, anybody else has streamed. Like, I personally feel like the chat makes the stream a lot better. Like, not only, like, from just, like, seeing it, but, like, talking to the chat, all sorts of things. Chat, engaging in chat is usually a much more useful and fun thing to do, in my opinion, than just, like, talking about nothing. And it's nice to have that interaction with the chat and discuss whatever. It doesn't have to be anything important. It can just be any small topic. But it feels nice to have a conversation with people in chat. Not seen that today, though. Not at all, actually. Actually, you haven't really been talking very much in the chat, Wayne. Is anything up? Not a big deal, but I've only seen you, like, pop in and say a few things and then nothing. It's not what I'm used to expecting out of you, that's all. Okay, anyway, let me get back over here. I'll check what I want to say, because I have a lot of things here, and I want to talk about some stuff. I actually have one thing I might want to talk about in a second. Actually, there's one thing I wanted to say that I related to earlier that I nearly forgot about, and it was relating to... Did I put 2202 up earlier, or was that 2203? Because I don't remember if I accidentally counted an extra one. Fuck. I'm going to assume we're okay. I cannot remember if I must have hit one by accident or not, so... Shit, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Whatever, though. Anyway, like I was saying, I was talking about my life, and I was talking about memories, stuff that happened through 2010s, basically. Hey, I mentioned a whole bunch of things like moving out. I feel like I would be fucking depressed as hell, even more so than I am now, if I was to lose my apartment. I've talked about how much effort I put in to get moved into this apartment. Now I've finally got to be living alone and getting to be happy in a place where I enjoy living. I'd hate saying this because it might sound a little depressing, but it's the truth. Like, if I lost my apartment, I think I would actually be tempted to commit suicide. Like, I don't like the idea of killing myself, but I mean, I don't know if I could handle the idea of losing my apartment. I don't know if you guys can understand this, and I hope you can, but like, not only do I have a bad relationship with my parents, I feel like overall, where I don't feel like I get along with them very well. Like, they don't try to understand me a lot of the time, but like, there's that where they're kind of cruel to me sometimes. On top of that, I didn't really have anywhere I could go to. I couldn't find a good job. There's like no place I can find where there's like any cheaper or better rent with like this place is like based on my income and I can afford to pay it as a result of that. So pretty easy to live here, thankfully, but like I don't think I could find another place. If I lost my apartment that I'm living in, I would be hard-pressed to find anywhere else, and I'd have to go back to my parents, and I don't think things would work out if I had to go back there. I would actually hate my life and hate myself, and I probably would want to kill myself. I don't think I could ever, or like, handle losing this apartment. I hate saying that, but it honestly would break me to lose my apartment. I feel like I'm glad to finally have a place that I can call my own and I can actually breathe and be happy and not have somebody breathing down my neck and treating me like I'm a slave. I hated that feeling. I don't really like seeing that kind of stuff either. Like, parents sometimes treat their kids really poorly, and it's like, if you're going to treat your kids crappy, then shouldn't even have kids. Okay, that was a little weird, not gonna lie. It wasn't bad, but like, I am surprised that Wayne came by and only said one thing, unless, I don't know if you're still here or not, but I mean, I do find it a little odd if you drop by in the chat and you say a single thing and then you never say anything else in the chat room. That's a little bit odd, I'm not gonna lie. Not terrible, but not great in my opinion. It could be better. I'm not gonna say it's bad, though. I mean, I wish people would engage in conversation a little more here, because I don't feel like I see anybody trying to, and I'd like to see more people who actually want to have a little bit of conversation. It's not that hard to chat a little bit. Whatever, though. Give me a second or two, actually. Going through my list again for some stuff that I need to check. Okay, I'm going to mark this thing as talked about, at least for right now. Let's see, what else is a good talking point, though? Okay, here's one that'll be good. What kind of haircuts do you guys have? I'm curious. This is probably going to be something else, since there's nobody's here. Okay, well, I guess maybe it's fine. I can't tell. Oh, that's what's going on. I was wondering. Sorry about that, but see your message now. Getting 2 megabytes down instead of the usual 500 plus down kick from Stream-A-Lot. That sucks that it's doing that. I can relate when I have like internet problems. They're very bad usually. I've had some in the past that have been really bad, and it's been acting up more recently than usual. And thankfully, it's been okay right now. But over the past like week or two, it's definitely been kind of not so good. So I can relate over having some points where I've had like it just randomly break on me, and it's definitely cut off a stream once or twice, and it's also fucking got in the way of watching streams where I get buffer and it becomes impossible to watch. Worst point is when it fucking dies randomly though, and then I can't connect to the internet anymore. Or if I try to use the, like, try to unplug and, like, reset the router for a little bit, like, it ends up fucking going and breaking altogether, and then I can't actually use the internet for hours, possibly. Or at least another 30 minutes, usually, before it wants to work again. That's always a nightmare. It's like, why is fixing internet problems always be, like, stupid difficult? It feels like it's incredibly hard to fix any kind of internet problem. You always have to rely on bringing a technician over unless it's like literally some super easy issue you can look into. And in my experiences, it's usually fucking they'll try to sweep it under the rug and try to pretend like there's no issue and try to avoid fixing the issue. It's actually disgusting how that happens. Like, so many ISPs, I've heard of like a lot of stories of this kind of crap happening plenty of times. It happens with mine because I've experienced it and I've heard of people having this exact problem. I've heard of it from Cox, actually. I think that's like I think they may have been like part of what Sudlink's original name was, but I think another company may have bought that out, actually. Let's see, where was I? I hear about a lot of things. Like, I think I heard Time Warner had that kind of problem, like some do, and I hear that, like, satellite internet isn't very good either. Okay, either I'm going crazy or I'm starting to feel like I'm seeing doubles getting added to my total when I'm trying to add one here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention. I'm going to watch very closely when the next time I add something to see if it adds 2 of these instead of 1. Maybe I've been doing this myself by accident. Okay, now that's just 1 that time. Yeah, you said that and I saw it. I understand that. It sucks that your internet's not working, though. It's very, very lame to see internet problems. I mean, I like to watch certain streamers, and I usually watch them plenty fine, but then start having these kind of issues, I sometimes just, like, opt to stop watching just because of the fact that it becomes an uphill battle just trying to watch the fucking stream, so it ends up being something where I give up on trying to view the stream. I don't blame people if they want to watch and they have internet issues interrupting their internet. I don't blame people for dropping out when that happens sometimes. I don't, like, I want to have more people here to engage, obviously, because it's nice to have people to chat with, but I understand when there's, like, serious internet issues. When it comes that bad sometimes, I end up just fucking giving up and not watching, though. Yeah, internet can be literally awful sometimes. I just wish there was a way to avoid the BS of an ISP not looking into the issue and then trying to skirt the issue, like, under the rug as quickly as they can when they try to fix something and they won't do anything. They'll sit there and trying to fix it, and then they make up an excuse when they can't fix it. Oh, it's bald? Wait, did I read that wrong? Whatever, I'm not sure what that says. Good here. Or it gets so bad, I'm guessing. Here it cuts. It takes back, because I like 6 months to grow back. I'm not sure. There's some saying cuts. I'm not actually sure that's what that's saying, because I'm not sure what your message is saying there. I've had a lot of issues with stuff around our apartments where they make up excuses sometimes about, like, the highway cutting off the signal, which maybe there's a bit of truth to that, but usually when they say that, it feels like they're throwing out an excuse to not actually have the internet working and why they're not able to fix it. It's like, fix the fucking internet issue. I've been able to stream for like a year or two without problems, and I suddenly start getting them, then there's definitely something wrong, and your fucking lame-ass excuse isn't gonna fly. It's like, can definitely fix the internet where somehow traffic isn't fucking having an impact on the internet. I find that to be total bullshit. It's a shame there's no better ISP option available to me than what I've got right now. I would like to switch over to a better option, but this is the fastest in the city, and I'm not going to be moving cities anytime soon, probably. Not unless I can find another better place to move to, and frankly, I think the only reason I would consider moving is if I wanted to get into a relationship, and even then, I don't know if I would do that. I would probably only move if it was like somebody that I was already in a relationship with. I really hope that vaccine ends up happening soon. I do want to get on my life and fix things, hopefully, and get things under control, because God, 2020 sucked, and hopefully 2021 will be a lot better in that regard. Definitely need some improvements to happen this year as opposed to how bad last year was. I'm not sure what I need to start with, though. Like, maybe going to church, maybe going to a gym. I don't know where I should be looking to meet people. That's the problem. I don't know where to bother with that kind of stuff. I guess I'll have to just look into whatever I can. Still be going to counseling, probably, so maybe I can figure it out. Anyway, let's see. Talking about something else before I got sidetracked. It's not a big deal, just another subject I was going to bring up. So, right. So what kind of haircuts do you guys have, I guess? And it's just a general description, or like, you don't know the term for it. It's not a big deal. I was talking about this earlier, so this is like a subject that would be decent talking point for a little bit. Talking about haircuts and whatnot, because I was meaning to bring this up at some point. I have a very, very basic looking haircut. Me on my Switch is actually fairly similar to how my real haircut looks. Like, it's pretty normal looking. It's all laid down fairly flat like that, and I didn't comb it really carefully. I don't really do much with it. It's kind of very simple looking hairstyle that I think a lot of people have. That's very, very common. I'm not sure what the proper name for it is. Like, I guess it's comb? Like, I'm not sure that's the right word for it. I don't know how you call it. Laid down, laid back, something like that, maybe? I'm not sure what the name for that is. You're eating? Alright, I understand. I mean, you can wait if you need the type stuff. There's a lot of weird hairstyles out there, actually. A lot that are very, very interesting. My dad and my brother, not really a weird one. They have mohawks, though. They have, or not mohawks, I didn't say mohawks. I don't know why I meant to say that. I'm saying something wrong entirely. My fault. I meant to say flat top. Excuse me, I got my wording mixed up completely. My brother got it like when he was younger, I remember, and my dad, ever since I remember, he's had a flat top haircut. It looks okay, I guess. I'd thought about like another haircut, and I've never really wanted to try another hairstyle. I honestly have not really bothered looking into any or trying any. I don't think I would want a flat top. It seems okay with the whole thing for getting, like, say where you can just, like, not have to worry about combing it as much. Flat top is very easy to maintain from what I understand in terms of hair, so there's that. Let's see, actually. I know, there's like a lot of people that are also bald, and that's another one that's a little awkward to talk about, because some of them are bald by choice, others are intentionally bald where they just shave off all their hair because they don't want to deal with it. I don't think I would want to be bald, actually. At least not unless it was a choice. I don't like the feeling of my head when it's bald. I only had that problem like once or twice, but I mean, it feels awkward and weird when I feel of it. It feels smooth and unnatural, and I feel of it like in a way that it doesn't feel comfortable. Feeling of a bald head to me feels really, really strange whenever I feel of it. Not something I like a lot. I hope I don't have to lose my hair. That would kind of suck. That's something I hear that apparently a lot of people deal with, or at least a lot of men deal with when they get older. They start dealing with balding issues like around their 30s to 40s. I'm already like, well, by April I'll be 29, so I'll be another year off from turning 30. I hope I don't have to deal with fucking balding, I really do. I don't want to start losing my hair. I don't want to deal with that. Not at all. See, other haircuts I want to talk about, just thinking on some that are interesting. Well, I've mentioned a mohawk. I've seen that a lot in, like, different concerts or whatever. I've, like... I think it looks interesting. I don't think I'd ever want that. The haircut looks really weird. It's kind of neat, I guess. Like, it's just a bit of hair in, like, a specific spot, like, right down the center of your head. I feel like it can kind of work really, really well, but I don't know if I'd ever want to use it, and it looks kind of odd to me to the point where I don't know if it'd look good. I feel like it's kind of the kind of haircut where it's a little on the ugly side. I wouldn't really want to have my hair like that. Like, I don't think it'd be something I would enjoy having for a haircut. It's an alright looking hairstyle. Just, Hang on. Actually, I don't think anybody here can answer. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody does know, but what is the difference between a mohawk and a faux hawk? I've heard both those terms, and I know faux hawk is something that's kind of similar to a mohawk, but I'm not too sure what that is. Let's see what Google says when I look this up. Okay, I'm looking this up. I think faux hawk is supposed to be, like, looking at the picture, it's like more hair than a normal mohawk. I'm not actually sure what it is. Let me see. Yeah, it says fake mohawk. It seems like it makes sense. It's kind of similar to the mohawk. I've heard that term thrown around quite a few, but I never actually looked into it before today, and I wasn't sure what all it actually meant. That makes more sense, though. What else is there that I can think of? I can think of at least one other that I could mention, but it's not something I want to bring up right away. And then if you go away from this particular part of the discussion, like, there's also, like, I feel like there's a lot more hair options that most girls will experiment with, and with guys, and naturally, just by, like, having the option to, or it being more normal. I mean, I guess if you like it and you like bunning up your hair, you like putting in a ponytail, pigtails, or whatever, I guess that's fine. I don't really care, but it does look a little strange on men, I won't lie, and I see that in girls a lot more, and that's pretty normal for girls. I would say that's fairly common. Like, girls have a lot more things they do with their hair, I feel like I see normally. Like, and it's very common to see girls have, like, long hair and have it grown out. You don't see that in guys too often. I mean, there's some guys that have that, though. And then there's a lot of people and a lot of girls that have, like, pigtails, ponytails, whatever. I see some really, really interesting, creative ones, and I'm not even sure what some of their names are. Like, different ways that they style their hair. A lot of them are really pretty, though. Actually, curly hair is pretty interesting, too. I have never had curly hair myself, and I think it's a genetics thing more than anything, so that's something I can't comment on. I actually am kind of curious what it's like having naturally curly hair as opposed to having, like, normal hair. Actually, hold on a second. I'm going to look something up out of curiosity. Okay, I was looking something up just out of wondering and interesting. I was wondering what... And I've heard the term perm thrown around a lot, but I've never actually heard, like, what the fuck perm actually means. Like, I've seen it so many times. Apparently it's like a term for, like, several different haircuts, so... Interesting. Okay, whatever. Anyway, let's see. Thinking here, because I was trying to remember what the hell I was going to... Oh yeah, afros. Afros are really cool, actually. I've always found afros to be like a very, very neat hairstyle. Sorry if this isn't interesting, I hope it is afros look really good in most cases. I've always thought, like, if there was any other haircut I wouldn't mind trying, which I don't think I ever will, afro might be kind of neat, because it's a very hard style of hair to get, like, very, very difficult to maintain an afro. I've always thought they looked really, really amazing, though. The way they look is fantastic. Really, really cool. It looks like it's a very, very good hairstyle, and I can imagine it's hard to maintain. I have a lot of respect for anybody who has an afro and actually maintains it on a daily basis, and especially how much effort it must take, although I'm assuming afros are fucking not only hard, but I'm assuming if it's like, it's a lot easier for somebody who's had an afro naturally to, like, maintain an afro. I don't know. I wonder about that one. I would have to ask somebody who's actually had one for that, because I'm curious about that, but whatever. I can only think of, like, one other named hairstyle that I can remember, and that's not the one I was gonna bring up. So I've seen another one that I was thinking of that I don't really prefer the look of it. Something that I saw in, like, a few things, like, in more in media and more in games than anything, but I feel like it's not that, and it's like not a super common haircut, but not uncommon either. I feel like, say, more on girls, a really, really weird haircut, and it's not that good looking in my opinion. I'm gonna have to find a picture of it and see what it looked like again so I can talk about it. Maybe it was both on men and women. I think it's mostly on girls. I need to look this up, though. Let me see if I can find this. I can talk about the other thing I was thinking of for, like, haircut in a second that's decent to bring up. Also, wait a second. Okay, I was gonna say, I thought for a second I had the wrong number or something, so I was looking, I thought I saw 2,223, which would have been wrong, and I checked and it was 2,033, or 233, thank God. If I had 23, I was gonna think that I'd been messing up and not hitting the fucking button to add on any encounters. I would have lost my mind if that was happening. Okay, give me a second or two before I continue talking. I just want to get this moving, and I'm gonna... So what was I searching again? Shit. Wait, what is this? Oh, it must be an issue on your end. Saya? Unless I'm not sure if I'm reading that right. Can I connect to the server? Error 473-726-264. That's a fucking mouthful. Like, ugh. Goddamn. I can understand that, though, and there's issues. I mean, refresh the page probably, if that'll work. I don't know if that's enough. Could be a Google error right now, though, and I don't know that I've seen pages like that on Google. Type this in the chat if it's not being heard, just to be safe. I don't know. Refresh, maybe? Let's see. See if that'll do the trick. If not, I don't know. Can try, though, and see if it'll help. Okay, yeah, give me a second or two. I'm looking this thing I was mentioning up because I'm curious about it. Although, the other hairstyle I've seen that I find pretty neat, I don't think I personally would want to style it. I don't know, it's a definite high maintenance hairstyle from what I understand, and probably not something I would want to bother with, but it seems cool. Would be pompadour. Pompadours look really, really great, and I'd say those are really, really cool in general. I feel like a pompadour is very, very weird, but also I think at this point it's probably been a little bit out of style, but that's a very, very good-looking haircut in my opinion, like a neat style of haircut. I feel like that's a hairstyle that's really, really fascinating, but I don't think I could manage a hairstyle that's so high maintenance like a pompadour is. Actually probably be really hard to pull off. I don't think I'm actually, like, thinking on it, I don't think I've ever seen anybody who has a pompadour for their haircut in real life. Like, not as far as I can remember. Huh. when I look it up, none of the ones I've seen are like, well, I see a few that are actually like what I'm thinking of to an extent, but none of them had like the same, like ones I'm used to have like a little bit of extra length on them where they grow a little past your head. And like, I can see a few, but I don't see too many that are like this. Huh. It does look pretty good. It seems like if you could like manage to get the hairstyle right, but I don't think that'd be something I would want to try. Also, I don't know if anybody would actually like it. I imagine that like most people make fun of the hairstyle more than anything, because it's a really, really weird hairstyle to pick, honestly. Wait, shit, did I count this up? I don't know if I did. I'm gonna fucking drop an extra hit on the button just in case. Anyway, give me a second. Pompadour looks fucking odd. If you've never seen it, I can link a picture of it later. I might actually link it in here or show a picture of it. The way I see it in like anime is definitely far longer than what I see on these pictures. I just Google search and there's quite a few pictures of the hairstyle though. Let's see if I can find the one that I'm not remembering very well or not. Give me a second or two. I might be silent for a minute or two because I want to search this. Excuse me. Let's see here. I believe that's another encounter up. It's going to be, if I add some off a little bit, my bad, but I'm going to not worry about it this time. Try to be careful about keeping the right number of encounters, though. Hopefully we don't end up going over where I'm supposed to. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what this says when I look this up. I'm curious if I can find the one that I'm looking for or not. The one that I was thinking of. There's a bunch of these here that I've not actually heard of. What is this? Beehive. That is an ugly looking haircut. It's like stuck up higher on their head and looks really, really weirdly unnatural. Also, one I've never heard of is like Quiff? Weird name. Really weird name. I don't see it on here when I'm looking, actually. The one hairstyle I'm looking for that don't see by name or see anything, and I've been really searching for it. I would say this much. I've seen it in, like, Cyberpunk. It's like a haircut that it seems like is in that a lot, and seems like a lot of the female NPCs have that haircut. I'm not sure what it's called, though. Maybe if I look it up, actually, I could find it, or... Give me a second or two. I don't see the by name, and I don't see it by picture either on here. That's really, really weird, actually. That I can't find any result for the hairstyle I'm thinking of. I don't even really properly know how to, like, describe it. It kind of, like, I guess the best way I can think of is it kind of looks like they, like, have, like, part of the hair shaved off on one side, and they have, like, more hair on the other side. Like, one side is completely shaved, and there's like, some on the other side, there's, like, a direct, like, swirled up bit in the middle is what I'm thinking of, I think. And I've seen this several times, but I don't know what it's called. Let me try looking up. Maybe if I put Cyberpunk, it'll tell me if I look up the Cyberpunk hairstyles. It'll, like, name them all. Yeah, let's see what I'm looking for. See if it's got them listed. Give me a second. See a few here, but not the one I'm thinking of right now either. Huh. Okay, that's weird. The name, like the one I'm thinking here, is not listed under an actual name. I don't know what the hell it's called then. So I just looked it up and there was nothing there. It says, let me look back up and I can tell you what this said here on this. I've never fucking found the name of this haircut, and I don't know what it's called to reference it. Fuck, where was it? I just had it on my Okay, here it is. It says sleek back. Oh, sleek back. That's the name of the haircut, I guess, unless I'm mistaken. Thought I read that wrong for a second. Sleek back with short bangs. I guess that's the name of it. I didn't know what that was called for the longest time. I never understood the look of that one too much. I don't think it looks very good, frankly. Haircut that I find looks kind of odd, I guess. I feel like I've seen a lot of better looking hairstyles in my opinion, and I think that one looks kind of over other choices. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that one's great looking though. Might be just my 2 cents though. I just don't find it to be that good looking unless did I read the wrong one? No, I didn't. Okay, just checking. I think, let me make sure actually. Give me a second or two. Now I want to double check this. Is that not the name of it? Because then I look it up, I don't see quite the same results as what I searched here. Maybe there really is a different name to it. That's weird. Whatever, not really a big deal. Just bizarre. Annoying how finding it and getting even a bit of a name was a bit of a pain in the ass, but whatever. That reminded me of like weird haircuts that I was going to talk about for a little bit, and I think I've gotten all I wanted to talk about this particular subject out of the way, so good that I could discuss this a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed that a little bit. I don't know if that was a good topic or not. How are we doing on our encounters again? Okay, we still got like 60 more. That's a little bit on the downer side. But we still have significantly a huge amount of encounters to get done before the stream's done. And I was ready to stop, but I have been definitely slower than I'd like. Oh well, whatever. So I'm curious out of this. Just like a last minute query, excuse me, I got the wording wrong. I think we're query. If I say that wrong, my bad. I'm trying to get this right. You guys had to like pick another haircut to use. What would you use? I'm curious. I would probably consider trying like a pompadour, maybe, or I would maybe consider the bald thing. Probably not though. I don't think I would want to go bald. I don't know about that. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna look at my list and see for one or two more things I want to bring up, and then I have another thing I have that I can talk about that'll be good for a little bit, maybe. Okay, this is something for a little bit of discussion. May not be anything too interesting. Maybe it'll be good. So, you guys do any fishing or hunting or anything like that? I'm curious to hear about that kind of thing in the chat. Do you guys enjoy doing fishing and hunting any, or are you guys not bothered to do any of either? I have personally been fishing several times in my life with my grandfather. I think I've been hunting once or twice with him. I've not really done anything and not really tried to kill anything like an animal with any gun, because I don't think I've not really had that experience, but I've also never found myself in the point where I actually felt like I cared to enough. It's a lot of wasting time waiting around sitting there, but seems alright. I don't know if I would have the patience for it. Sit there, like, maybe leave some food, then have the right tools for a call or whatever, if it's like a deer, or sit there and be patient and silent, not really do anything, just waiting on something to happen. I couldn't get used to that. And then there's the matter of, like, seasons for, like, hunting specific animals. If I wanted to hunt, I'd rather not have to deal with, like, a particular season being in effect and I'm trying to hunt stuff. I'd rather have the option at any point and not have to worry about like when I was going to do it. I don't think I would want to hunt so much in the first place. I don't really care. I'd rather just do stuff on my own and take care, or not do stuff on the other gut and buy it. I'd say buy meat or whatever and get food that way and not actually think about like that kind of thing. I would rather just go and make sure I could get food that I want without actually doing that. I do like the idea of hunting to an extent. It seems like it's okay. not a bad thing, but it's also not a great thing. I don't know if I would like to. I feel a little bad for the animals, though, sometimes. Like, it's honestly not great to see something get shot down. My grandfather did a lot of hunting of, like, deer, and I think maybe, like, a bit of hunting with, like, ducks or something or whatever. I never really bothered to ask too much, or I didn't remember all of it, so I didn't remember, like, everything that happened with that. I remember I'd been out, like I said, I'd only been out with them once or twice for hunting. I don't remember anything else we'd hunted particularly. Like I said, I never really got into it. I know some family that particularly likes the idea of hunting, and I could not care less about it. I've been out fishing a few times. I actually like fishing a little bit more. I wouldn't say I love fishing. The problem that comes with fishing is that fishing is slow. Really slow. It takes forever to fish. It sit there waiting, hope for a bite to happen, put on like bait, and then throw your rod back out there and try to get a fish to come in. It feels like you can be sitting there waiting for a bite for hours, not get anything. Sometimes you might get something, maybe it'll happen really quick, but you have no guarantee you'll end up with like anything on your fishing line whatsoever, and that you'll end up getting any results out of it. I like fishing, but I don't know if I could go out and do it nowadays or not. I mean, if I had opportunity in the right place or whatever, I might consider it, though. I wouldn't be against it. I haven't done fishing in a long time, though. I wouldn't mind, though. It seems alright. Catch some fish and then cook it. Fish is pretty good food, too. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think we've gone fishing and caught, like, catfish. I haven't really caught anything bigger, I don't think, and I don't think we've gone into any places where we can catch any other fish that I can think of. Well, maybe, I don't remember. I don't know if I've caught any other or not, actually. I'm wondering. I know we've caught catfish, but I don't recall if I've caught, like, horse mackerel or anything like that. Anything that could be, like, in the water that I haven't caught like that, or a red snapper or whatever. I haven't had any other kinds of fish like salmon in some time, actually. I want to get some more good food. Maybe I'll get some fish, actually, when I go down to buy food again. Seems like a decent deal. Spend some money on getting some fish types that I haven't eaten before or eaten in a long time, and try cooking them, because I wouldn't mind. I've had salmon, and that's really about it. So yeah, I'm gonna check something really quickly. I'm curious about this really fast. I'm actually, yeah, I want to go out and fish more, though. I've had a few different types of fish. I feel like decent topic. It can be fun. It can be boring, too. I feel like hunting and fishing both can be uninteresting. I don't mind, though. I don't mind it one bit. Fishing games are an interesting topic. Do you guys play any, like, fishing or hunting games, actually? I'm curious. I'm gonna leave off the particular topic of hunting and fishing for a little bit, so we can talk about something else, which is to talk about, like, food again for a little bit, like, good foods, like, say, for example, like, talking about, like, good meat or good, like, meals you can cook, like, that kind of stuff where you can, like, good fish, that kind of thing that's worth cooking, stuff that's fairly good that most people would probably enjoy, and stuff that would be worth like eating. I'm actually curious about that, so I'd like to talk about that kind of thing a little bit, actually. I will say I've talked about, like, or I'm talking about this thing, I meant to say, like, I was saying talked, I meant to say, excuse me, I meant to say eating, like, a lot of different fish types, actually, and one I remember pretty well that I had that I did not like whatsoever was I had tilapia, and I found tilapia was not that good, in my opinion. It was not something that I enjoyed very much. So, yeah, I can say that. Let's see, what all have I had for fish? I mean, catfish is an easy one. I've had, like, let's see, what else is there? Catfish, I've had salmon plenty times. I like both those quite a bit, so I certainly like eating those. I've had trout before at like a place grilled before, and trout when it's like grilled well is honestly really, really good. And I'm trying to think like what all I had on like different ones. I've only had like so many different ones. There's a lot of good like different dishes you can have too with fish depending on what you do. Salmon croquets is what my mom made a lot when I was younger, and I enjoyed eating them. Give me a second. Okay, let's see this answer here. Got a kind of sweet taste according to Google when I look it up. That's odd that red snapper tastes sweet, but okay. Interesting. I might actually try that if I can find it at Walmart or not. I'm curious if I look this up, if it'll be in their fish or not. I know I've gotten quite a few things, so let's see. Jeez, I can tell that I'm hungry. I haven't had anything to eat in a long time, though. Okay, I think yeah, there is some stuff for what I was looking at. There's some decent looking options there. I was curious. I'm gonna look something up for a second. I want to see, like, what are some good ones, actually? I've had a lot of fish types that are not a lot that I can remember super well, actually. Be good to see what kind of recommendations I find, and I try looking it up. I'm genuinely interested in seeing what's on there. One thing I've been wanting to try, not super badly, is, like, I've been meaning to see how swordfish sashimi taste. I hear swordfish is a very, very interesting taste, and supposedly pretty good, so, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing if it's any good or not. I wouldn't mind seeing how good it tastes in general. Let's see. Okay, let's see what this says when I look this up, because there's a few. I mean, there's some easy ones to list on here that aren't really stuff that I don't think I would cook. I don't know. I've never heard anybody like using a tuna for cooking, for example. So obviously that wouldn't be something that I would be interested in. But there's like a lot of things on here. I think it's mostly catfish, trout, salmon, those kind of things that are like really popular for fish types that get. Oh shit! I thought I'd hit that. That's why I stopped for a second. But I hear of being like fish that a lot of people eat. I know tilapia is kind of up there. I cannot stand the taste of tilapia, though, so I'm going to throw out the fact that I don't like tilapia right now and say that before anybody decides to recommend it. Chat okay? Just checking. Chat to know, making sure. Hey, Melee Kirby. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I've been going on for a while on this one, and unfortunately, no shiny luck, actually. Been very, very lonely, very, very miserable hunt so far without anything happening. I'm still very angry about the way this ended, because I ended up wasting, like, my night on the 31st, sitting here desperately trying to get the shiny to pop up, and nothing would happen. Oh, I'm honestly starting to wonder if I'm wasting my time on this one. Even though I don't mind shiny hunting, I'm really angry with the idea that I'm getting this close to getting it, but it's also, like, it's such a shiny where it's literally, like, stupid close looking to how the original color looks. I don't like that. This color is really bad, in my opinion. I cannot tell these two apart at a glance, and frankly, Regice's shiny just looks bad, in my opinion. I feel like I'm sinking time on something that's going to be completely not worth it in the end. I hope it'll be a little better looking than I give it credit for, but I doubt it. I've heard from at least a few people, though, that apparently it's, like, actually something you can tell the difference between if you look, so maybe it won't be that bad. I don't know, I'm not expecting anything. I don't think having a darker shade of blue is a good shiny, though. Yeah, welcome, Melee Kirby. Good to see you. You even missed out on a whole lot. We've been not doing a whole lot. I've been talking about all sorts of things. I talked about several topics throughout the stream. Like, I went in and talked about, like, video game glitches for a little while, and I've been trying to bring up, like, the topic of like, some good glitches in games. Unfortunately, there wasn't really anybody here to talk about stuff with properly, so nobody really brought anything up. I found some fun things to talk about regarding that, and moved along talking about a few other subjects. I'm trying to think what all I've been over. Glitches is like a big one. We talked about the American education system for a little bit, and I remember I brought up, like, haircuts and stuff like that. Been a wide variety of things going on. Been a very, very long day, to say the least. See, I was talking about, like, fish, actually, before I started to, like, talk about this and whatnot. Hang on a second. Hey, C's, welcome to stream. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Been going for a while. Glad you're here, though. You haven't missed out on a whole lot. I'm not going to recap because I literally just said everything that I had been talking about, so not going to repeat all that, but you haven't missed out on anything too big, to be honest. I was talking about, like, fish earlier. What are some, like, really good fish types to eat? Like, we were talking about, like, food for a little bit. I'm about to go grocery shopping probably in another day or two, actually, and I'm trying to think on some good stuff to get, because I think, unfortunately, this month I'm probably going to find that I'm going to end up needing to get stuff that's relatively cheap to cook, since I'm thinking I'm not going to have a lot of money left over after my phone, because I have to waste quite a bit. Even though I've saved up on it, it's still a lot that I have to take out. It's only like 120, but I've also, the money's like adding up quite a bit, and I know I'm going to be likely to spend like $100 or $200 on, like, food over the month. I normally do that just because it's like trying to get decent food to eat is not that easy, so trying to find stuff that actually tastes good can be difficult, and usually I get, like, TV dinners. Find that I throw a lot of money down trying to get food that's actually good to eat. I mean, that's a natural thing, though. I think most people probably spend, like, quite a bit on food. When I was in San Antonio, actually, like, I was playing, not just playing, when I was going to Walmart, we had, like, a thing where we were given, like, a thing to budget our, or, like, some of our trips, like, out, we had to budget a lot of stuff from that school, and, like, had to budget what we were buying, basically, and when we were, like, at a certain point when we were, like, in our own little section of the building and supposed to be living in these, like, little apartment-like sections on our own, like, for the time I was there, actually, I remember that I was like, getting, yeah, we had to do, like, these things where we had to, like, set aside, like, $50 for food each week, and we weren't supposed to go over that. We could go under, we couldn't go over it, and we weren't supposed to buy anything other than food. I think that's, like, a normal expectancy of, like, how much it costs to buy food every week, and basically in, like, America is to spend roughly $50 to get your hands on, like, enough food to last you for the entire week. Usually I'd have, like, quite a bit extra, and I think a lot of the people that were doing it also bought, like, breakfast food, whereas I got, like, just lunch and dinner. It was pretty easy to keep up with it, but now I've noticed, like, it's a little harder even if I get, like, TV dinners, and unfortunately it's a little hard to just eat the same thing over and over again. You can definitely live off of cheap stuff, but it's not as good in my opinion. Like, I remember some of the stuff I did to, like, save up, and it's not that hard. Like, you buy, like, bread and you get peanut butter and jelly or lunch meat or whatever and make sandwiches out of it, and you can get they didn't want us buying ramen noodles. I didn't buy those in the first place. Like, that was one thing you could do. Also, I've noticed with, like, meat, usually they sell it where you can get, like, several pieces and you can cook it, and it's pretty cheap. Like, you can get like quite a few hamburger patties or quite a few chicken legs or whatever if you want to buy those, and it's not too hard to afford those. So that was another thing I bought. There were like quite a few different like things I did for saving up my money. The problem is like eating the same meals over and over again gets really goddamn tedious and really goddamn annoying, actually. I don't end up doing that anymore as often. Hold on a second, I missed a message. I get Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Cool. If you do, I hope you enjoy it. I mean, I didn't mention that we talked about Zelda earlier, and I gave you some recommendations, and I will say Breath of the Wild's a good game. I wouldn't be certain if it's a very good starting point for the series, and a lot of people are very quick to go on and, like, say, oh, Breath of the Wild is a perfect starting point. You don't have to know any of the other Zelda games, and my retort to that is not about Breath of the Wild being a good starting point solely for the sake of, like, whether or not you need an introduction to the series. The point that I make when I say this is about, I feel like Breath of the Wild is such a different Zelda game from the rest of the series that a lot of people who've played it, anybody who's, like, looked into the rest of the series, probably wouldn't know what to expect and may not end up liking the rest of the series after playing Breath of the Wild. Because Breath of the Wild plays incredibly different from every other Zelda game out there. It's not like any of the other 3D Zelda games that are out yet. I'm sure that are out, like, there's been, like, 5 or 6 3D Zeldas? They all played fairly similarly, except for Breath of the Wild. If you go and play Breath of the Wild first, and you experience, like, the open world gameplay, sure, you might like it, but you won't get a proper feeling for what the rest of the series is like. It's not bad to play it, but I'd say playing the other games in the series might be better if you don't want to have your expectations completely shattered if you actually end up liking it, because I've seen people who have this exact problem never play any other Zelda game, or if they do, they play one, they talk about how, oh, it's not like Breath of the Wild, and it's like, that people told people, yeah, you should probably not give this recommendation for the sake of getting into the series, but it doesn't matter. It's still a good game. If you want to get it, it wouldn't be a bad idea. If you have any interest in playing the other games, though, yeah, I would say it might be a good idea to play some of the other stuff, maybe 1 game or 2 games beforehand, just to get a feel for what traditional Zelda's like, instead of introducing yourself to Zelda specifically Breath of the Wild. Doesn't matter either way, though. Okay, just a second. I'm checking on, like, messages that I might have missed, actually. Give me a moment or two, though. I always have to take a second when I'm doing the stupid light-up puzzle, because it's really easy if I'm not looking at the screen to do like that, and then completely miss the dots on the ground, and then have to turn around and, like, hit every spot that I missed while I was trying to reach them. If I don't pay attention, that happens. Okay, where was I? He doesn't microwave and meals lazy to properly cook. Yeah, I get a lot of different, like, TV dinners myself, actually. I know what that's like. I find TV dinners to be pretty good. I get some stuff that's, like, microwave cook. It's not TV dinners, like soup and everything, but I don't do it super often. I've mostly started getting TV dinners out of, like, just pure laziness, though. It's really that I don't mind cooking and I enjoy it, but I also absolutely hate the part that comes after, aka cleaning dishes. Cleaning dishes is legit one of the worst chores to put up with, and I struggle when it comes to cleaning dishes. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it at all. Usually it's hard to clean, like, some dishes like pans, and they get really greasy, and frankly, I do not like that at all. I will gladly stick to doing TV dinners more often and paying a little bit extra for the sake of that convenience. I don't want to avoid cooking all the time, because I'll be honest, and I think a lot of people share this opinion, I think a home-cooked meal that you sit down and cook yourself is actually way better and way easier to appreciate than, like, cooking, not cooking, I meant to say, but a meal you cook yourself and home cook is usually way better than a TV dinner, but it's also a little more strenuating, like, sitting down and cooking it and then cleaning the dishes up. I'm really glad that I have like I'm really glad that I have a dishwasher, but unfortunately it doesn't really get the job done of like fixing everything up and keeping it perfectly clean when it comes to like putting it in there sometimes. Like I find pans still come out with like little marks that I can't get rid of. Thankfully they don't seem to be a big deal. It's just like stains that are it's stained a little bit, but it's like it's not something that's like gonna taint the food any if I use the pan still. But it's really annoying when that kind of stuff happens. Really annoying to cook in general when you have that kind of crap happen. Let me see, actually, checking on some more messages. TV dinner not too long. Yeah, I eat more TV dinners than I should. I've eaten them less than normal lately, but not like by a whole lot. I was gonna cut back on them last month because I was getting some like ramen to like actually try to like save up on my meals a little more alongside some other cheap stuff. But I've got to say, I didn't expect it, but oh my god, eating ramen, that taste gets old so incredibly quickly. I think I had it for like 2 or 3 days at most in the row, and I started to get sick of eating ramen. I don't know how people can live off of ramen. I don't think it's bad. I'd actually find the taste to be alright and pretty good, and it's fine for eating like every now and then, like occasionally. But I cannot eat ramen like alone. If I eat nothing but ramen, I would fucking just start to lose my appetite really quickly. I feel like it's decent, but it's not the kind of food that's meant to be eaten for like a ton of different meals like that. It's just not filling at all, and frankly, taste is a little too soupy at sometimes for me to like it. I don't even hate soup. I just find the soup-like taste of ramen to be very easy to get sick of. Let's see, where was I actually? One other message I missed actually, I think. Like strategy games other than Fire Emblem. I played a few. I don't really get into strategy games too often. It's usually a little hard for me to play them and understand them. I think I found a few, but it's been so long I couldn't remember. I don't think I played too many proper strategy games. I mean, closest thing I can name for a strategy game that I've really played outside of that is that I've sat down and played Pikmin, because Pikmin is an RTS. I see so many people who debate this actually over like the series, and it's like, okay, I know the series is single player, and it's kind of easy, but just because the series is single player and it's not that hard doesn't mean it's not an RTS. It's still an RTS series, whether or not you think it fits your definition. Most people can agree on that. I enjoy that series a lot too. It's like, I don't know why people want to take away like any like criticism on strategy games and liking Pikmin. It's a very good series. And also, speaking of Pikmin, I wish we could get another Pikmin game at some point. I do feel like I'd like to see a new one. It's been a long time, actually. Hold on a second. Wait, shit. Actually, I just realized I was gonna fucking go and heal, and I set up the lights on the ground. Whatever, we'll just fucking go up to the next encounter anyway, and then I can heal my Regice that I've been using for comparisons, like, right after I'm done with this. I've eaten a lot of TV dinners. I think I've talked about it a little bit, but I don't really remember everything I eat. I actually couldn't find the one I really like when I was down in Walmart last time. I have to look again next time I'm down there another day or two. And I remember I got that one that I liked that was called, what was it again, if I can remember? I think they're called Nighthawk. They're pretty good. They're not amazing. Their taste is really good though, and it's not something you would expect is really good. I get some stuff that seems like it'd be really cheap, but I enjoy it. They've got like 2 of them that I really like, and they're both like steak dinners. One's like steak and mashed potatoes. The other one's steak and steak, mashed potatoes, steak, and I think tater tots. And both of them are really good. I've got to say, I'm surprised how much I enjoyed the, like, tater tots and their TV dinner. And this comes from somebody who doesn't really like TV, and it seems like like TV dinners, I meant to say, I don't like tater tots a whole lot in general because they kind of feel like the kind of food that can be like little kid food that gets old if you eat it too much. I don't think they're that bad, and I don't feel like I get sick of eating them too often because I don't eat them that often, but I don't eat tater tots very often, to be frank, so yeah. I'm not sure if he was talking about which one of us he's talking about. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, good to answer it, I guess. Or else sausage and mashed potatoes. That doesn't sound too bad. I like to eat. I don't know if I have anything like that. I haven't really saw anything like that in the store. I mean, I've had some that are like good breakfast food, like one that's like scrambled egg and like sausage and like I think it's like scrambled egg, sausage and like bacon all mixed up in like one thing. And when you eat it, it's pretty good actually. It's very, very good. I think there's like a little bit of potato in it too. Like the taste is absolutely pretty good. Another thing I like to eat, I don't really love them. One thing I found that's kind of okay, I like eating like sliders to an extent. Like sliders are alright. The problem with sliders is if you eat too many, you can definitely get sick of them because they're good, but they're the same kind of thing where it's like very much if you eat too much of it, it's to be like a very, very samey taste you'll just end up eating too much of. They're very good though. I find when I eat a bunch of them, I enjoy them. If I don't eat them like too much, if I eat like 2 a meal or whatever and don't eat a whole ton, that I end up enjoying eating sliders quite a bit. So they're good food. They're not the best though. They're definitely something that can be filling when you don't want to have like a big meal and you just want something really small. You just get a few sliders and you eat them and then you're done. Usually when I get like, if I have like an appetite but not for anything big, I can get like some sliders and then just like eat like 2 of the little slider burgers and then be done with them without worrying about it. Something, and that too, or something very similar to it. Wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot of TV dinner brands out there. We have a ton of them in America actually, and my God, sometimes it can be a little hard to pick. I will say there's definitely some of them that I remember seeing that I've had that are absolutely awful, though, that I never want to eat again. I remember at Walmart, I forget if this is the name or not. It's been a long time since I've had it. But I remember a very particular brand that I got that I figured I would try out because I thought it looked okay. It was like something called like Healthy Choice or something, and it had like, I don't remember what the meal was. Something like fries and like some meat or something, like it's maybe a meatloaf or something, and then like some other one that was, I don't remember what they did for those. They weren't anything incredible or crazy. They were okay looking. I remember trying them and they didn't, not only did the meals not have like really any specific heating instructions or anything on it, so you didn't know how to cook it. I remember when I did cook it and I tried to follow everything as close as I could figure out to based on what I was like looking at, like I remember eating it. It had the worst taste ever. It tasted so awful and so crappy, and it was supposed to be like a thing for kids. I don't know any kid that would want to eat some nasty health food that has a terrible taste to it. Like, I don't know what they were trying to do with their TV dinners. I hated the way they tasted, though. They were legit awful. Probably the one TV dinner brand that I can remember where I have, like, never wanted to eat it again. I've never seen it in Walmart again when I've gone back in the store, though. So I'm assuming they actually ended up, like, not lasting there very long. I'm assuming those TV dinners didn't actually end up staying there. Otherwise, they probably would have been still left on the shelves, because I have not seen them at all. They were bad. I'm going to have to look and see if I can find this or not when I check on it, actually, and I can post a picture of what they look like. They're pretty bad. Maybe it's not the Healthy Choice one. Maybe it's another one. It was something like this. I don't know if it was Healthy Choice, though. Healthy Choice might have been an actual good one. No, Healthy Choice is not the one I was thinking of. Never mind. Healthy Choice is actually good. I remember it was something like this. I wish I could remember the name. I think it was like supposed to be a kids' TV dinner or something, maybe. I don't know. And I thought maybe it'd be okay because, as you know, usually they make them actually good because the fact that kids want to eat something that tastes good. And boy, was I wrong about that. That was a fucking giant mistake. Ugh. Not exactly a TV dinner. Flavor of porridge. Hinted strawberry. Nice, but it didn't. Sweet. Okay. Sounds like it probably didn't taste very good, I'm assuming. Yeah, I wouldn't really blame you if you had it and ended up tasting like complete crap. Tried it and tasted awful. Strawberry flavoring is pretty bad. Well, aftertaste, yeah, that's the kind of thing that I've seen like a few times where it's like, oh, those are the worst. They trick you into thinking the food will either be good or decent, and then you buy it, and it is absolutely the worst tasting stuff ever. I remember when I was eating that one I talked about earlier, I didn't describe it like too much to talk about how bad it was, but I will say, like, when I ate it, I remember one of them, I don't remember which one, I ate some of this TV dinner, and I remember the fucking aftertaste of, like, after I ate it, it felt like I put plastic in my mouth. Like, it was awful. And also, the TV dinner itself, like, one of them, I remember one of them smelled like burning plastic. It was how bad it was. It was legit awful. Actually, I think I remember what I was talking about. Like, they had some interesting descriptions. I think one of them was chicken nuggets that I forgot about. Like, you'd just to cook them, and they were bad chicken nuggets. They tasted like garbage. They tasted completely awful, but it told you to, like, cook them, and there's supposed to be, like, a little pocket, and they were, like, inflated. I followed the instructions, and I think even though I followed the instructions, doing exactly what the box told me, it fucking burnt the chicken anyway, and it tasted like dog shit. I don't think it would have tasted any better even if it actually wasn't burnt, but it was a bad TV dinner, and I fucking hated it so much. It was definitely one that I remember having a bad time with, though. That was a fucking nasty one, really nasty. Ugh, God. Trying to think if there's any other ones, though. God, there are definitely some bad TV dinners out there. That porridge, a little bit of strawberry jam on top. It's nicely. That sounds pretty good. I remember I've had a lot. There's a lot of dessert foods I really, really enjoy eating. Some that I think are a little more American and not stuff you see anywhere else. Why should I say American? That's something, the right word. So I know there's some that are stuff I see in my family and nowhere else. I don't know how common of a recipe they are, though. Like certain foods, I can name a few. I think I've talked about them on another stream, but I don't think too many people have heard this, and I'll talk about it a little bit now. My mom has some pretty decent recipes. I remember, like, for some dessert food, she's made, like, two that I remember that are both really good that I've had before. She makes these really, really good little things she calls peanut butter balls. They're little balls of fudge that she rolls up, and she puts, like, peanut butter inside of them, and when you eat them, oh, they're good. They're frozen where they're, like, nice and hard, and then I guess this puts them in the fridge where they can, like, sort of sit and be a little more edible. They're very good. It is definitely a taste that tastes really, really rich. You can bite into it, and all the peanut butter feels like a really, really good taste going in your mouth at once. I even enjoy it, and I've not really seen anybody else make this, so I don't know how, like, common of a recipe is. I'm sure it's not something that only she knows, obviously, but I've never seen anybody else make these peanut butter fudge balls like this. They're good, very good. It's not the only one. There's another really good one that I've eaten that I remember really, really well. Like, another one is this, I don't know how you describe it, but it was good. It had, like, a little bit of nuts in it. It was chocolate, like, it had whipped cream on it, and I don't know what else it was. I think there's a little bit of some kind of crust, like graham cracker maybe or something. I'm not certain. And she calls it chocolate delight. It's served cold all the time, and oh, it is good, really good. It's like a cake almost, or whatever, a pie, but not quite. It looks like a cake. I wouldn't really describe it as a cake. I don't actually know what you would call it. I wonder if this is a fairly common recipe that I just haven't heard of from anywhere else, because it might actually be something I can find a picture of. If not, let me Google search it, and I can, like, link a picture of what it looks like, because I've had this, like, quite a lot when I was younger, and it's a very common thing we do, like, holiday dinners, and I've got to say, it is super good. It's one of my favorite dessert foods. It's definitely really, really tasty and something I enjoy eating. Okay, let me see if I can find it on a Google search and see if this is actually a thing that like is actually a common recipe, or if it's actually just something that's not that common. Let me see. Give me a second or two, though. Of course, I need a moment to get off of this really quick. Yeah, okay, I can see it, and it's about what she makes, like the same way. I can post a picture of it, and it looks very similar to what my mom makes. Let me see, this is a pretty good one. Picture of it. Give me a second to download this, and I'll post it on. I'm gonna put it on my thing for a second so you guys can see it after I get this next encounter going. Very, very good dish, though, I gotta say. It's one I really, really enjoy. I need to get into cooking more. I want to make some good stuff myself. I just don't actually cook enough. It would be nice to have some better stuff. I'm going to make sure I look into more cooking myself later. Okay, okay, I got this on my thing. Give me a second, I'll put this in here. Also, that's not shiny, so I don't have to worry about that one. There's a picture of it. Let me see if I can shrink it down a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. Now, well, shit, not quite. Problem with OBS there. I don't want to mess with the resizing too much because of the fact that it might be a little hard to get it sized correctly for OBS, but yeah, this is what I was talking about. It's a very, very good thing, and it tastes very, very nice. It tastes very, very good. It's a great recipe, in my opinion. I've had it quite a few times. It's very enjoyable. Okay, I'll pull it off the screen now, and that way we can continue. Let me get this off of here. There we go. Definitely a favorite I've had in terms of dessert. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. I've had that kind of food like several times, and I always enjoy it. Chocolate Delight is very much a good dessert food, honestly. Oh man, remember when I got something like right before Christmas, and right after Christmas time, like right on Christmas, I guess, and I remember it lasted me, thankfully, still. Well, around the end of the month, but I remembered I barely held out on eating it, and it was like, the only thing I kept me from eating it all was like, no, I should leave. I don't have any, like, junk food, because I don't have a lot of money to buy on anything right now, and I'm trying to save money. I might as well preserve, like, the little bit of dessert food that I've still got left over, and not actually eat it all, instead of fucking going straight through it. Might as well hold on to it as long as possible. Actually, another, like, a good thing I really, really enjoy eating. This isn't an uncommon one. I'd say this is fairly common. Though, like, strawberry shortcake is really, really good. Especially when you have it just right. You get, like... I don't know if it's, like, normally done with, like, specific type of cake. I know, like, you can do it in multiple ways. I think you can cook it specifically as a strawberry shortcake, or you can... and use like angel food cake in some cases, and you can put like usually it's like do angel food cake, then and you could do either like a little filling or whatever, or you could do like take strawberries and the strawberry juice and actually pour them on the cake itself. Usually it's put like some whipped cream on it, and oh, it tastes great. Yeah, strawberry shortcake is great. I've had it several times, and I enjoy eating it every time. It's really, really good. I'm not sure how many people agree with me on this, and I think I've had this discussion before about, like, fruit. I'm not going to talk about that too much right now. Maybe we'll do that discussion later, but, like, in terms of fruits, to the very least, like, I've got to say, I love the taste of strawberries. Strawberries are genuinely very, very good to eat. They're very, very sweet tasting and very, very nice, and also, there's some really good dessert foods you can have with strawberry in them. Like, there are some really, really sickeningly good ones that I enjoy eating. Like, what all am I thinking of? Like, but yeah, a pretty common thing, at least in America, we will typically do something where we have, like, either, I don't know if it's, like, white chocolate, I'm not sure, but we have, like, white chocolate or chocolate and, like, melted onto the strawberry and, like, I don't even necessarily melt it. We'll have it like a thing sometimes where you have it like and dip it in the chocolate and eat it, or you can and get it it melted and like frozen on the strawberry so that it's like coated in chocolate, and that's pretty good too. When you eat strawberries like that, those are great. I enjoyed eating chocolate coated strawberries. They genuinely taste pretty good in my opinion. Also, they go pretty good with like some sugar too, although that's unhealthy too, although probably more so than the chocolate. I'm not actually sure, but like it does taste really good when you have like a bit of sugar and then dip in strawberry in it. The taste is absolutely incredible. Strawberries are just they're good fruit in my opinion, very good fruit. I'm not sure if there's any fruit that I like more than them. They're still one of my favorites. I don't know, maybe banana. Banana's also something I enjoy. Speaking of banana, I think I've mentioned it on stream in like was it yesterday? No, I tried it on 31st, obviously, the last time I streamed. I got some banana bread recently from like some charity thing while I was over at Walmart, and I've got to say, like, I haven't had banana bread in some time, and eating it like, oh, it was good, really good. I still have a little bit left over. I've been rationing it really carefully, and I forgot how much I like the taste of banana bread. Banana bread's good. It's like right in that area between like being a dessert food and like a normal breakfast food, and it tastes so sweet and so good. I've been having it like a little bit, like maybe a slice or two of it like every morning for breakfast, because I was trying to eat that while I've got like not a lot of stuff where I go buy stuff from Walmart. Never had banana bread. Banana bread is pretty good. I would recommend it. It's definitely a taste that's very, very good in my opinion. I don't know if it's very common outside of America or not. I don't think it's like too uncommon of a baker or just a baked good. I don't know how common it is in general though. I know for a fact if you looked it up, you could probably find like an easy banana nut bread or banana bread like recipe online if you looked it up. So I don't think it's too bad. I don't know how the steps go for actually like baking it and putting the banana in the bread and like getting it to come out just right. So couldn't really tell you exactly how to bake it. I've never really done it myself. That's another thing we'll have to discuss at some point. Baked goods are always something that's like really fun to talk about. There's a lot of stuff from bakeries that comes out really good, or I suppose the right word would be more pastries than baked stuff, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I see we have not got a shiny. We've been going for a while. We got to 2300. It's unfortunate, but seems that's how today's going to go, is no shiny. Oh my god. That's just great, actually. We have reached the point where by tomorrow, if I don't have the shiny, then I've officially gone over my Regice account in terms of shiny hunting. I was hoping and desperately praying this wouldn't happen. Alright, I am through tonight. I have no more patience for this right now, and I was doing up to as much as I did to get my counter a little more even again so I could get into this and do 2500. So I'll leave it off here. Hope you guys have a great day or night, and I'm going to stop streaming now. Bye, everybody. Take care. See you soon.